this is, if this is factual, these are the things that we should be talking about in church.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, man.
We were in Turin, and we were outside the church that the Shroud is housed in. And the only person allowed to call for the display of the Shroud is the Pope. So the Shroud of Turin was not, even though it was a Jubilee year, the Shroud of Turin was not on display. In that church. We didn't go in that church.
Well,
Yeah, look at that thing.
we're rolling. What do you want to start with? Crown of Thorns?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We need to start with that because I mean that'll blow people's minds right there. I saw this on a clip. I'm just kind of scrolling through the Talk of Tick, and I saw this pop up, and I started watching it. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is way. So you have to think about it, though, in terms of, the Romans were maniacal in their devices of torture and how they did things, and the way they left bodies on the side of roads as calling cards. Is what happens when you mess with the Romans. It's crazy. Ray, you've talked about, what are some of the, like, you talked about relationships. I want to talk about relationships. You said you've had people that follow you on social media ask questions about, like, what kind of questions are they asking? Are these men? Are they women?
It's
Is
both.
it both? I mean, are they talking about faith-based relationships, or are they just talking about relationships in general?
I think the biggest fear right now is people listen to other people. I posted a video recently where I was like, listen, I'm not perfect myself. I make mistakes. You know what I mean? I still curse. Once occasionally I'll vape.
I saw that
still
one.
drink. I'm not ashamed to say it. And a lot of people hit me back and they're like, oh man, that's real cool that you're open about it. I'm like, well, there's no reason to front. I don't need to hide it. At the end of the day, I'm human. I'm not God. I'm not perfect. And I think on the internet, when you post something, everybody's quick to judge you and say something. Mm-hmm. And I think my thing with me is like, who are you? There's only one person that can tell me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think where I'm at with it right now is there's a fine line between, what I'm seeing and what other people are seeing. Not to say too much on it, but for me, I'm realizing that I don't need to go to church to be closer to God. For me, I feel like I attend church when I want to, but when I read the book, like I told you, I feel like I get more from it.
Yeah.
I feel like and before I used to feel bad, like, oh man, I missed a Sunday. Now I'm like, if I miss a Sunday, I just go read something. And I feel good. I feel like I got what I needed from it. Yeah. And right now, I don't know if you guys are catching on, but I forgot what that pastor's name is, Todd or something like that. Whatever, he's on there, and
Michael Todd?
Yes, and he was cussing. He kept saying multiple times. I also saw another pastor say, bring your taxes. Oh, yeah, it's on, I think it's on TikTok.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, what? Bring your taxes? And you got cheap asses. And I was like, hold on, bro. There's no way you just said what you just said. Mm-hmm. And I think the war between good and evil is going to, it's here. We're at this point now. And I don't want to get too deep in that.
Well, it's always been here.
It's amplified now because of social media too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now there's people that I post stuff and I scroll through other people's stuff and it sounds just motivational, like a fortune cookie almost. Mm-hmm. If I tell you you're gonna have a great day today, or 2026 is our year, no duh, it says it on every fortune cookie. And I feel like at that point I'm catching on to that, and to kind of jump onto the next thing real quick. I don't know if you guys have saw this yet, but they have AI pastors now, and they're all different colors, different races.
There's AI music.
There's
what?
I promise you, look it up right now. They all preach the same message. Same message. Wait till you see it. It's all on YouTube. And I didn't know at first because I was
it on
listening to
YouTube?
it. And I said, hey, hold on. How is this guy saying the same thing?
It's on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's
I
AI.
mean, I guess I'm not surprised.
but
People
they
are
say
just trying
the
to make
same
content
thing.
so they can make money off the content.
One dude was like an Asian dude. The other dude was like from Africa. And I heard the message and I said, hold on. How is he saying the same exact thing? And then it said on the bottom, AI. And I said, no way. And you're seeing people comment on the bottom. Yeah, look at that. This is scary stuff, man.
In Mark 3:20-35, we witness a powerful scene
Not a
where
real
Jesus
person.
is surrounded by a crowd so large that he and his disciples couldn't even eat one. His family, hearing the chaos, tried to seize
That's
him,
wild.
thinking he was out of his mind. Meanwhile, the scribes
When you
accused
look up
Jesus
another
of
one,
being possessed
you'll see a
by
different
Beelzebub
race
and
reading the
using
same
divine
thing.
power to cast
And
out
people
demons.
aren't paying attention and they're commenting on the bottom. Amen, amen. I'm like, whoa,
Illustrating that a
whoa.
divided kingdom cannot stand.
There's an average IQ for a reason,
Yeah,
and then there's a lot of people under it.
but you can't blame them because right now on Facebook,
Half the people are under
when
it.
you see things, you can't tell no more if it's real. You really got to pay attention to detail. Now, do you know that the number one artist, Christian artist, is AI?
I think I saw that. It was.
Yeah.
for
And
a
I
little-
listened
don't
to
know,
it.
Did it last, or is it just temporary?
It's still up there.
Still.
I listened to it, and it sounds good, some of the songs.
Itself evokes grief, anger, shame. The dissolution of a marriage covenant is tragic and complex, even when necessary or justified.
It's just reading a script, an AI script.
Yeah.
You got to see the ones with the pastor standing there and doing his
Yeah.
hand motions and all that.
That's wild. Well, I guess I'm not surprised. AI is taking over. Let me go back to another one. But anyway, you keep going. I'll look.
But-
That's
Yeah.
well,
And this, but the thing is this is what I'm saying. Like,
are they
Word.
giving marriage advice? AI marriage
they
advice?
do everything. Everything. And everybody is so caught in just watching that they're paying no mind. I was listening to that artist that was AI and didn't know. And I was like, oh man, I'm telling my wife, oh, this song is fire. Like
I heard that song on TikTok, and when I went to the comments, I'm like, it's all right song. And when I went to the comments on TikTok, they're like, this guy's AI.
Literally changed the bloodline of kings. Ruth had every reason to go home.
She's
Her
AI.
husband was dead,
Yeah.
Her mother-in-law Naomi was bitter and broken, and staying meant poverty in a foreign land.
Dude,
But when Naomi
half the
told her to
videos
leave,
on the
Ruth
Super
said
Bowl were
something
AI.
that echoes
Yeah,
through
talk about
history. Where you
maximizing
go, I will go.
your return on your investment.
Yeah.
Just have an AI engine do it.
Here's what's about to happen. You're going to be able to choose an AI or create one, and then you're going to be able to pay monthly to have that AI work for you. That's not a real person. That's what's already starting to happen.
Well, I mean, I have an AI work for me.
But you don't have a person that you created the image of
No.
what the person looks like. This is where we're heading to now. And it's
Which is just one level up from. I mean, I've got several AI programs that I use for these podcasts too. You know, it's for the editing and the
You know, we have a
and
there's,
the and
there,
the, and
there's
the,
been
the
some
copy.
movies. There have been some movies made that illustrate the dangers of AI. The Terminator.
What's going to happen is it's just going to
iRobot.
be in the Tesla robot that
Mm-hmm.
Elon's making is just going to be an AI robot, and it's going to do all your laundry. It's going to cook
But
for
here's
you.
the problem, though. All the famous people, the actors, the musicians, the models. You no longer. I used to model. You no longer need a model. You could type in what type of model you want, the body figure,
They're going
and
to have
boom,
to
they
put
got
some
it.
kind of restrictions on that for something, or it's ending everything.
Well, jobs.
Wasn't
Not to cut you off. Look at Panda Express. I pulled up, and the person talking, I'm like, hey, what the heck? This sounds like a robot. I got up there and I told the girl, hey man, was that you? She goes, no, it's our new AI. I said, what? You have an AI? Go pull up to it. Panda Express has an AI
Wow.
at the
I believe it.
at the menu now.
I don't eat Panda.
Oh my goodness! But this is where we're at now.
I don't go to Panda Express, so I'll never get to experience the.
Don't get Daryl down a food rabbit hole. We'll be down there for 30 minutes.
Oh my goodness!
Don't
yeah.
get me started on that.
Who was the
Like-
movie producer, the actor that was building $1 billion studio and quit building like halfway through because he saw ChatGPT come out and he's like, "There's no point in me."
There's no
investing
point,
all
yeah.
this." What's his name? Black dude.
50
Very,
Cent?
very famous. No. did the Medea movies.
Tyler Perry.
Oh, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true, guys. Like this is everything on Facebook right now is literally AI. People are putting profile pictures of themselves, and it is not them. It is AI. So we're just feeding into it at this point, and it's gotten to the point now where we can't decide what is real and what is fake. You know, sometimes I get confused, and I've been looking at this AI stuff for a while. I'm like, ooh. And then when I looked at the Super Bowl commercials, I said, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is all AI.
Wow.
And now they're getting so real with it that they're even admitting it. You guys just saw an AI video. And I'm like, if you didn't say that, I would have never known.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen people remake movies with AI. What if, Robin Williams did The Mask?
Mm-hmm.
And they did a whole AI thing. And I said, oh, this would be cool. So guess what? We no longer need actors no more. That's why you're seeing more of them try and do commercials, because this ain't going to work no more, guys. Like, what do you do when all the money's gone? I feel like they're going to put us on a budget.
And people don't like them anyway.
No, they don't. But the
People
thing
don't
is,
like Hollywood, but we still watch all their crap.
but if you could recreate somebody who passed away, look, there's Michael Jackson songs being released that's not even him doing it, and it sounds good. There's Tupac songs being released, and it sounds good. There's Elvis songs coming out, new songs, and I'm like, hey, what is going on? That's scary. Could you imagine somebody you love that's passed away, and they put the voice of that person in them?
They digitized Randy Travis's voice because he had a massive stroke and he can't talk.
See,
but he released a new album of his songs, and they synthesized from old tracks his voice and overlaid it into the new songs.
You know how dangerous this is, though? What if they make Trump say something?
I'm sure they will.
You know, and somebody can't, see if it's real or fake. What if they fake, have you guys seen the one where it looks like a robber standing in your house and kids think it's funny and they send it to their parent? And the parent calls the cops. What? Yes, somebody recently said, Mom, ICE is in the house. And the kid posted the picture, and the mother panicked and called the cops.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh, this is getting real. And I said it on TikTok. I said, guys, it's going to get to the point where we're going to start worshiping AI. You know why? Because when you hurt because you lost that loved one, you will do anything to be able to hear their voice again. And if you can buy a robot for $5,000 and put that voice of the person you love in that robot, you will hug and love that robot and not know that you are worshiping something that is not real.
They've already made movies about it.
Yeah. And this is where we're at. But we need to open the eyes of the kids. And I wouldn't even say kids. I would say parents, too. I see more older people trying to recreate their age.
There's $1 trillion or so being invested into this AI stuff. They're not slowing down.
No, it's going to keep going.
If we don't, other countries will, and then it's going to be whoever controls the AI controls the world.
One of the creators of AI did I have to find it. It's on YouTube. Did an interview, and he panics. He goes, "You guys have no clue what just happened." And they asked him, "Why are you quitting?" He
like
goes,
the guy in the Terminator movie who created the company that made the robots.
Well, he goes, we've gotten to a point of no
Skynet.
return, and nobody understands where we're at right now. That is alarming right there. You know, it's going to be a matter of time before we can use AI to manipulate stocks.
Can pretty much already do that. People are writing programs to do that.
You can't even play PlayStation no more because there's the controls and all that stuff. Like,
man, I don't know.
I have a solution to that.
I don't know how do you stop it.
You can't stop it. It's already here.
I have a solution for that. I don't play games.
But it's more than games.
I read books.
You have a phone in your pocket.
But you're just one person.
Yeah,
You're walking around with AI. I'm walking around with AI right now as we speak. If I just say
there are 2 AIs,
it's going to come up.
4 AIs listening to us. 5 AIs listening to us right now.
Well, I'm about
Alexa
to freak you out.
4 Series.
When you get the chance to watch the video, I forgot the gentleman's name, his page. They're training AI to build AI. How? And one of the guys said, if you needed to destroy humans, would you do it? And he said the AI told him yes.
Yeah, wasn't that the nuclear bomb thing?
I don't know about that.
There was one that said it was like only 9% of the time it would not launch the nuclear bomb.
That's scary.
Which means 91% of the time. I'll find that one.
But you know what? People want longevity so much that they're going to be willing to put this thing in them so they can live.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You guys heard of Cryo chamber, whatever, where they freeze the body?
Mhm.
I think I said it wrong.
Cryo
I'm sorry.
chambers,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did research into that, and guys, there's
people that are
people.
frozen.
Yeah.
Because they're hoping the technology is going to be there in the future to
Well, they just figured it out.
to cure people of cancers, and
They figured out that they can put that person's mind into the AI. And I said, "Oh man."
yeah, but that's not going to heal them of their.
No, it's not.
It's not going to bring them back to life. If
I don't want to live forever.
If you
I
get
know that.
frozen, well, I mean, some people. I mean, I would assume there's a certain level of vanity involved in that.
Yeah, and a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to appear to be unbothered by it all, but it doesn't. I don't let this
they
stuff
have
bother me.
AI lawyer apps now.
No, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You just type in your case, and they tell you the probability of you winning. What? Look where we got to now.
Yeah,
teachers are going to be AI soon. We're not going to need a teacher.
The thing with
anymore.
all that is you're discounting the human element. You can type in all kinds of stuff into any kind of AI platform, like with the court cases.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to go to trial, still got to present evidence, and you still have to convince a jury of your peers of guilt and innocence. And if it's a criminal case, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. AI can't do that.
For how long can that last?
Well, there'll be legislation put in that says a human has to be involved. You can't just let the AI judge make all the decisions.
Yeah, we have. There's some movies about that too.
Yeah.
This is
There's
crazy.
a
But
Tom
they
Cruise
already do
movie.
it to read 1,000-page bills. Congress is already doing it to read a 1,000-page bill that they're not going to take time to read and vote on. They'll ask for an AI summary of it.
Because it
and they'll
allows
read
them to
that and
cut down
vote
on
it.
staff. Because that's why members of Congress, the House and the Senate, that's why they have pages, why they have interns.
Mm-hmm.
Their job is to, okay, so here's a 1,200-page bill. You get this number page, you get page number to this. You need to break it down and tell me what it's about. You have this, and so they break it down to manageable chunks. And so now you can copy and paste the bill into
whatever AI
Chat
you want.
GPT, any AI that you have in there. That's why universities have multiple tools on hand to be able to sniff out AI produced work.
Jennifer
I
does
don't
that
know.
for her class.
Everything's turning over quick. We got AI vehicles already downtown that are driving themselves.
And blocking paramedics and almost pulling
Man.
over
Yeah.
onto the
Why
train.
did that ambulance just ram that Waymo out of the way?
I would have.
We got 18-wheelers. I don't know if you guys seen it yet. It's nice, actually. Real
Yeah.
nice. Drives itself.
They need their
Smaller.
own lanes, like their own
I
HOV
can tell you right
lane.
now, I don't want to be around any 18-wheeler that doesn't have a real driver.
We got that. We got
There's
the robots.
supposedly less accident than
Yeah.
real driver. Like the statistics are there, even with the Waymos. The
Well,
Waymos are-
and if
and
you
they're
have
not-
18,
they're never drunk, they're never
if
tired.
you have
either.
AI 18-wheelers, then they're not under the laws and restrictions for number of hours they can drive in a day.
But here we go again.
They need their own route. I mean, their own lane, their
What do you
own
think happens though
separated lane, though,
when everybody loses their job?
like a train track. You know.
What's the next move? I feel like I
People
talked to
said
my,
that about the internet too, in the late '90s, and people just adopted new careers of coding and web design and marketing online and selling online. I mean, there's
think-
ways to adapt to it, but there are things that AI is going to take over, like ordering your food at,
I feel like
Panda Express or McDonald's.
COVID was meant to destroy a lot of people, but I feel like this is meant to do it too.
Yeah.
Because let's say people lose their jobs and they say, okay, we'll give you $3,000 a month, your wife $3,000 a month. Make that work,
Elon
right?
already said we won't need income because we'll just be getting money from the government because there'll be too much money.
But I'm going to explain how I feel like destruction of humans is going to happen.
Okay.
People are going to be lazy. Nobody's going to work out. People are going to spend their money, go out, buying stuff, food. They're going to get overweight. They're going to get every sickness possible because they're not going to do nothing no more. You no longer need to work.
Or you have more time to go to the gym and go hang out
Some.
outside and go hiking and spend time outdoors with your family.
That's good to say, but
Good
what
for
about
your
if
mental
there's
health.
a gym on Congress and across the street there's a food festival?
Do both.
What's the
Go
chance of
work
people
out.
doing both though?
Go work out. I'll go work
Well,
out
then
and then go to
that's
the food
that's
festival.
when you have to have a culture change. You have to have a people have to adapt to it, and I think I think more people would work out if they had more time.
I don't know. We got so much obesity right now.
Now you're talking about a mental health issue there, because
But
people who don't want to ever work out and be healthy and just sit around and eat. And
we have a problem with obesity because of our food.
But
Yeah,
I'm
that
saying
too.
though, what's the best way to have you destroy yourself? That's the best thing. I don't have to do anything.
But
You're going to destroy yourself anyway.
I'm not advocating for this. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But let's say you didn't have to pay your rent, your bills, because you had money coming in, because AI was making so much money, and you had $5,000 a month to pay your bills and travel and do whatever. That's $60,000 a year that you could at least pay your bills with.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do with that free time? That's where the people who need to get off the couch would get off the couch, because they go, I'm not having to drive to work for 2 hours every day. I'm not having to sit in an office. I'm not depressed because I hate my job and I hate my life. And I think you would find more pleasure to do more.
Is it
pleasure
like
in
a
things
Star
in life.
Trek world where there's no currency?
I guess.
Like let's look at Star Trek, like Next Generation. There's no currency. If you're in the the Federation,
Yeah.
if you're in the Federation, there's no money.
That's good.
You have
that's a good way to put it.
replicators that make food, and there's no need for money. Now that doesn't
You
mean
get your
that there's
3D printed food out of your
That
what used to be
doesn't-
a microwave.
yeah, that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there that have some form of currency and bartering and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in Star Trek, if you're in the Federation, nobody had money. Everything's provided for you, and
But you're still going to need a plumber. You're still going to need an electrician. You're still going to need
they
a
still
roofer.
had people working on the
You're
engines.
still going to need
You
somebody
still
to
had
build your
schools.
house.
But the thing is, how that's going to run out.
I mean,
once
somebody
those-
has to take an AI machine to the house and plug it in. If you're going to have an AI do the plumbing,
I don't think you get rid of the human element.
I
You
mean,
always
you'd have
need
to
the
have
human
some kind of
element.
magic sci-fi robot that just goes from house to house and fixes all the plumbing on its own.
Who knows? I just
guess
know
it's
like
possible.
I feel like
a
depression
War
would
of
be
the world
Yeah.
scenario.
depression would be at an all-time high.
Or
You
not, though. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it
I
would.
If you
don't
didn't
know.
if you didn't have the stress of work, like say you worked at a bill collector, or you worked in an office selling stuff that you didn't really care to sell for somebody else, and you hated your job. I'm speaking from experience. You've hated your job, and you go home and you're depressed because you were there. It took you 10 hours. It took you an hour to get there, 8 to work, and then an hour home,
You got a 30-minute lunch.
and then you get like 2 hours with your kids, maybe. And then you go to bed, and then you do it all over again for 5 days.
That's
And then
hard
the
to
weekend
say.
comes, and you're like, oh, thank God the weekend's here. And then
I don't
Sunday
know
night
about
comes,
that,
you're like,
though.
man, tomorrow's Monday.
So
I don't
Ray,
want to go.
Ray,
Hold on,
if
hold on,
you didn't have to work,
But wait,
if you didn't have to work, what would you do?
Hold on. You know how many rich people have done it to themselves? I don't want to. You can't say the word on YouTube, so I'm not gonna say it. But there's been a lot of people who are financially stable and happy and still do it. There's something always missing in their life.
Well, that's because they're pursuing the wrong things. If you
Right.
didn't have to work, what would you do every day?
I would work out and spend time with my wife and my son and family.
And
I've always said if I hit the and my
And
parents
I think
can back this up,
I think the majority of the people would be the same.
I've always said if I hit the lotto, right? I always told my parents I would buy a neighborhood, and move my whole family into that neighborhood, because nothing is gonna be more better than having my family around. People I love. I don't need yes men around me.
Right.
I need people that love me. That if I'm hurting, they'll know something's wrong.
I have
It's-
certain
when-
family I would do that with, and,
Right.
and friends.
When somebody cares for you, they don't have to ask what's wrong. You could tell something's wrong with that
Right.
person.
Crystal and Jacob, I've always talked, man, if I win the lottery, I'm just going to buy some lots. We're just going to build a house, live next to each other.
See, I'd rather have my cousins, my
Get some
oh,
dogs.
Yeah, I want everybody around.
Get
I want
100
everybody I love.
dogs, 100 acres and 100 dogs.
Open a
Yeah.
car wash and have the family work for it. We,
You
keep
don't need a
things
car
going.
wash. You
Why
have
would you
AI.
need a car wash? AI's
don't
gonna
need-
do
Well,
you don't
yeah,
need to
but
do that.
I'm just saying before the AI talk, but I'm just saying
You just say, hey, AI, go wash my car in the driveway, and it just.
that'd be amazing. But you can marry AI now. Come on,
That's-
y'all, that's
that's-
weird.
That's pretty wild.
Have you seen? They have that.
Is that here in the United States?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, it's 95%.
Of what?
95% of the time, AI would nuke the world in a war game simulation.
Yeah, this is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, and you know what?
AI can't
When people
stop.
see this, they're gonna open their eyes, because this is something that needs to be spoke about.
AIs can't stop recommending nuclear strikes in war game simulations.
Everybody keeps pointing at the youth. It's the parents too.
What is it? It's like the old Matthew Broderick movie,
War games.
War Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he had that program. It's a great movie. It's way before your time. It's a great movie.
I don't
though.
think you were even born yet.
Like 1919.
Mm-hmm.
Joking.
No, naughty.
No, more like 1980.
You're over here living your
80,
Chicken
maybe.
Little philosophy,
Yeah,
man.
whatever.
It was in the 80s because I watched it when I was a kid.
Here, and not to diminish or you know,
1983.
not to diminish all this and make light of it. This is why I don't worry about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just me, and maybe it's where I'm at in my walk with God. This is why I don't worry about it, because one, it's nothing I can control,
Right.
and two, God has a plan for everything. Now, I had this conversation with Jason Frick yesterday based on his post in the Oak Grove, and when people always ask, you know, why does God let this happen? You know, why did God let that little girl die from cancer? And I saw the video of a little girl that, you know, the guy asked him, was like, man, you know, why do you think God let you have cancer? And she's like, God chose me. It's for a reason. And, you know, you see, it's a testament to people's faith. And for me, you know, when things start to happen in my life, which, you know, there's been some things recently that have happened in my life, it causes me to reflect, because what I know is if I start to get ahead of myself on things, and I'm not saying I get to a point to where, like, I don't need you, God, because I always need God. I need God every day.
Mm-hmm.
But if I start to get a little over my skis a little bit, you know, God has a way of humbling.
Yep.
and knocking you down a couple of steps. And, you know, for me with all this stuff, you know, and again, maybe I'm at advantage, or maybe I'm at a disadvantage, because I mean, I know a lot about history, and I see things history's cyclical, and it repeats. Here's what I do know is that just when people think it's like, oh man, you know, society's gone to hell, it's so bad, something happens that causes a change. And for me personally, I choose to focus on the positive. Like, all these people they see these videos on TikTok or Facebook, and it's a feel-good story, like, you know, about how a kid with special needs is on the basketball team, the coach puts them in the game, and the other team helps them score so they can get on the score sheet. And everybody's like, you know, this is how America used to be. No, this is how America is. You're allowing yourself to be influenced by the negativity that's reported, and you're choosing to close your eyes to all the good things that are happening around you every single day. There are good things happen every single day. You know, I mean, it's a choice. We have free will. We have choice, and you know, and I, you know, I know people that are extremely negative, and some of them are good friends of mine, and some of them are just acquaintances. And it's hard to be around people like that, because I choose to focus on positive things. I choose to look at, and it's not that I'm ignoring things, but, you know, again, with all this stuff here, I just give it to God, and to be honest with you, if it's the time for rapture, thank goodness.
I'm gonna fight you on that. I don't believe that they're negative minded. I believe a lot of people are open minded, and a lot of people are closed.
Yeah.
Okay. You have woke people, and you have people that are still asleep and refuse to see what's in front of them.
What does woke mean, though?
Meaning that you see things.
Okay.
You know, and you know, if you see something, you actually know. There's some people that'll see.
Because
Let's just say somebody would see a little fly this big, and that person that is woke knows that is an AI flying robot. The other person will be like, no, it's a fly.
There's a difference between woke and awake, by the way.
Because not all woke people know. Not all woke people have knowledge.
But you can't say negative though. When you say somebody's negative, it's you know, there's things that you say where I could be like, okay, he's a little negative, but no, it's because you
be the first
know.
one to tell you I can be negative about things.
You know, but it's funny that
We can complain all day long about stuff if we want to.
But I'm gonna go back what you say. Is I wrote this recently. I said God will destroy your plans when He sees it, how it would destroy you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I said God will put you back together in front of those who hurt you.
Yeah.
My plans if my plans don't align with what He has for me, they're not going to happen.
Yeah, or they might happen, but you won't get the results you were looking for.
Yeah,
You know,
because you can force anything to happen. You know, I could
Well,
I can
and
step out in front of a bus and it's going to hit me, or it might hit the brakes in time and not. But
that's why
you can make that choice.
You know, I'm gonna say something real quick, and this might shake a room or might not. I don't know. Something that bothers me is when a person is always hearing God. That
Or claiming to?
Yeah, and it triggers me.
claiming to.
You know, and I'm like, come on, bro. You hear him? You hear him? That, like, why come I can't hear it? And I pray a lot. I talk to him a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's getting to the point now where I'm seeing that more and more. You know, and I'm just like,
Well, there are a lot of people out there, not just pastors or ministers, but there are a lot of people out there that figured out if you say something that makes sense to people and you say you heard it from God, they'll believe you.
yeah, of course.
Whether you did or not. And that's, I mean, just because they're a pastor or a priest or anything doesn't mean they're immune to being a liar and a scam artist.
What's the
We've seen
pastor that was a
plenty of
football
times.
player?
Which
He
one?
was an athlete.
Tim Tebow?
No, he's not a pastor,
It's an
though.
African gentleman. I forgot his name. He
Reggie
speaks a
White?
lot. No, I forgot.
What-
I don't
what
know his
team?
name. If I see his picture, I would know. But he said it in the actual pastor.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
In a room where all the pastors were. He goes, I see a lot of pastors in here that are too prideful to clap when we're singing Christian music. Humble yourself.
Was that the guy that from Atlanta?
Yes,
Was because my daughters were at that conference in Dallas.
and he told him,
It's that,
And-
that church that's the number.
and he says
Whatever that pastor's name is.
he
I can't
says,
remember.
well, I don't know about all you pastors who keep saying you anointed and keep hearing God's presence.
Yeah,
what
he-
makes you
he-
so different? And I'm like, I clapped. I felt so good
he
inside. 'Cause I'm like,
rebuked. He
yeah.
rebuked because Peyton and Lindsay were there.
I loved it.
Um,
I love when he said that because I'm tired of the fraud, the fakeness. Like, no, stop it. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Don't keep saying you feeling, you hearing. No, I don't believe
Philip
it.
Anthony Mitchell
There you go.
of 2819 Church.
I love that. So finally, a pastor spoke up. You know, and it was a room full of other ones in there, and that felt good to hear. Like, because I have questions myself too. Like, you can't just keep hearing it, bro. Stop it.
Well, and
Stop.
he's called people out at his church that are doing tarot cards and burning incense and have crystals and stuff, and
Yep.
people got up and walked out, and this these are some things that we've talked about in private, and I've mentioned a couple of brothers before about where a lot of churches are scratching the surface on things, and we're not doing the tough walkouts on stuff, and use the example about something that really convicts men is like porn.
Yeah.
And churches do a great job of talking about porn being a sin, and that if you're watching porn, then you're being disobedient to God, and you're not honoring your wife. Okay. And people are like, yeah, amen, stuff like that. And then it's one of those things where you like, it's not a matter of asking, like, if you have a problem with pornography, raise your hands. No, it's like if you're struggling with stuff, and raise your hands. And we stop there. Like, we pray for them. We pray over them. And then there's no follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no helping guys walk out.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, if a guy's willing to come in around another group of men, so we had brotherhood like this past Saturday. If a guy's willing to step up and say, I'm struggling with pornography, then dang it, we need to do something to help him.
Yeah.
All right, hey, do you have, here's an app that's really good. We can find you an accountability partner. Well, I don't have the money for that. Money's tight. We'll pay it. We'll cover it. If you're serious about getting off porn, then let's get you on this app. Let's find you an accountability partner, and let's get to work on this. And then follow up with them every single week. That if you need help, text this guy. And that's kind of what the Oak Grove it kind of is, and to a certain extent. It's also gotten to be.
You also, you have to make sure that you're working with people who are holding themselves accountable too, because anybody can lie.
Not only
Well,
that though, you have to talk to somebody that's dealt with addiction.
Yeah, you can't
Because
pay for
I
anything
can't-
like
Right.
alcohol
Well,
and
You
You know,
can't
the
give me
other
advice
thing-
if you've never been through it.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing with the app is it monitors their activity, and their accountability partner gets an alert if they're looking at things that they shouldn't be looking at.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just so shaky, man.
there's just always ways around that stuff. And it comes down to agency. You have to have personal responsibility for yourself. If something's a problem in your life and you're not fixing it, and I
Well,
speak from
and you can
experience
speak to
too,
that.
so
Yeah.
It has to come from you. You have to
do it. I
have to want it.
lied so many times to not be in trouble for drinking.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
who was I going to be in trouble with? You know,
Nobody.
other than my wife or my family, or myself. But I was still deceitful and manipulative anyway because I wasn't holding myself accountable.
Well,
You
and
know?
and,
But
and
you
even,
eventually get there.
and,
or you
and
don't.
even to a
And you
certain
die.
extent, I'm gonna speak on behalf of singles here, because I asked you, like, what are some of the questions your people that follow you on social media are asking you. You know, I've got divorced in 2012. I've had a handful of serious relationships since then. Still single. Talking to somebody right now, and it's going well. We're taking it slow. As far as for men and women, again, it's belly button time. This is how I look at it. There are a lot of women and men that just choose not to date because it gets messy.
Yeah.
Because it gets messy, and part of the mess is some of the things that we're talking about. You know, if you're a godly woman and you want a godly man, where are you going to find a godly man? Well,
Not at the bar usually.
no, you're not going to find them at the bar. You're not going to
But
find them
you
at
can.
you're not going to find them at
Eventually.
Bucks or Nate's or anything like that. I mean, you can, but you may not find them at church.
Yeah.
And that brings about a whole different conversation, because if a man and woman attend the same church and they start dating and it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
and it goes south, and it goes south pretty bad, what happens to these two people
Right.
that are at the same church? Who do they get to stay? Is someone asked to leave? Does someone choose to leave? Okay, so now you're damaging your community
Yeah.
by
Yeah. You have to start.
by
over at
not,
another
yeah,
church.
you have to start over somewhere else, and I think this is causes some people to leave. So we
I
have to
met
be
my wife at church when she was
Yeah.
2 years old.
people have to be careful with that,
See,
and it calls about being transparent. And
I was only 4, by the way.
and the older you get, I think it gets harder for people to want to be transparent, because, again, people like, when did you get divorced? 2012. Man, it's 2025. Man, it's 13 years. Man, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Girl, we ain't got time to get into that. There's a lot of stuff wrong with me.
I got 1.7 terabytes left on this drive.
Yeah,
we got all night.
I can say words if I want to, right? I'm gonna slip up if I want to, right? Or is this-
Yeah, you
okay.
say whatever you want. You can cuss, I don't care.
Marriage is the hardest thing to manage. The shit is real.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get real here. If you think you're gonna marry somebody and it's all gonna be peachy, okay, the Disney story.
Yeah.
This is where everybody gets it fucked up. Okay, marriage is up, marriage is down. You know what the hardest part is? Fighting through it. You know what the easiest part is? Walking away.
The makeup sex.
Not even that. Yeah, it's the. Well, my marriage, I'm about to be, I think, 15 years, something like that, right? There's been ups, there's been downs, there's been separation, there's been hurt, there's been happy times.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point right now in my marriage that I don't really care about fighting no more. I don't know. I'm looking at it in the aspect now like, okay, I want to grow old with my wife. I want to see how we look in the future. I pray we make it this far, that we're old enough and I'm helping her eat, or she's helping me eat, or helping me walk. That's gone. There's more single people in this world now. Let me tell you something. In school, if they had a class on marriage and how to live together and manage your bills and all that stuff, right? It would prepare people more. But when you move in with somebody, half the time it's a one-night stand. Next thing you know, you caught feelings, and shit hits the fan when you live together. I have to learn your ways. Now you got the puppy phase, right? Everything is great. And, oh, you hungry? You give her a little bite. And now you get to, after 5 years, she like, can I get a bite? No. You know what I mean? Get your own food. You should have ordered your own. But that's just how it goes. That's marriage. There's different, I think the first 2 to 3 years is the puppy phase, in my opinion. After that, you start getting 5 to 7 years.
phase.
Yeah, 5 to 7 to 8 years. You're going through it. That's the toughest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to reinvent yourself, right, at all times, and try to reinvent the relationship, because we get stuck in patterns.
Well, maybe not so much reinvent yourself. It's just growth.
Well, you get stuck in patterns, though.
Yeah.
You know,
but
if I came home and did the same thing every single day, my wife wouldn't even have to be in the room to know what I'm doing. She could be in the room and I'm in the kitchen, and she'll be like, he's sitting on the couch right now. He's doing this, this, and this. He's about to get up. He's about to complain about something.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to that point, that's a problem, you know.
Yeah.
And for
or maybe
me,
it's not.
well, it is
routine.
though. It is, because you get tired. Listen, you know what it is? We could work at a job for many years, and after a while, you just get burnt out. You just looking forward to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Just like retirement, people will be looking forward to divorce because you got used to each other.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm
now
there.
for
He
me,
hears you loud and clear.
if you can
I'm there.
get a chance to learn the person you're with, understand that they're not perfect and you're not perfect. I've done this before where I'll be like, oh, I'm perfect, not knowing that I was pushing my wife away. You know, and I had to sit with myself and say, okay, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? There is no such thing as the perfect husband and the perfect wife. You all been through crap, and when you get with each other, her baggage becomes your baggage becomes her. So now you got to figure this out. And for me, there's a lot of women that get joy in saying, oh, I'm a single mother, I did it on my own. You know what I mean? And
Most
some
of
women
them-
don't have that option. Some women were forced to be single mothers and stuff
Some
like
of them
that.
are some of them
Yeah.
are lying.
And to me,
Have very active fathers.
there's guys that do that too, though.
No,
It's not only women.
I know.
You know,
But
and I
it's
think-
mostly women because they're the ones that get custody of the kids.
Yeah.
I know several instances from personal experience, not my ex, but friends of mine whose ex-spouse says, "I'm a single mom." You're full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Your ex, the father of your children is very active in their lives. You need to quit poisoning your children and quit perpetuating this lie of
You're a
what you are.
co-parent.
But yeah, you're a co-parent. No, he's active. He pays child support. He's active in his kids. He gets them. Y'all have 50-50 custody or 80-20, whatever it is. But he's doing his part. He did not jump ship and run for the hills, and you never see him again. Nor, and your dude, your sperm donor, doesn't pay. Like I saw this day, a good friend of mine said that her ex owes so much child support she could pay cash for a new house here.
Wow.
And we talked about it last episode. Dude, if you're not paying child support, or if you are paying child support and that's your conscience check, you're a piece of crap. Your kids need you.
It's let's not say just women, it's men too, though. You got
mostly
you
women.
know, it's men, it's women.
How many men do you know that are divorced that have primary custody of their kids?
I'm about to throw
in
something
this-
in.
in
I'm about
this
to throw
state?
something in the throat to switch this up.
Okay.
If they took child support and they treated it like WIC, right? WIC, you could only buy certain things with that. If they put the child support with a card and says you can only buy clothes for the child and food for the child, I believe not many men would be on child support right now, because you're going to do everything to work it out because you want him to give you money under the table. Now, it goes vice versa too. There are men who have women on child support too. So I'm not going to say just one side. I'm going to play both on this
Ain't
one.
many.
You know, but still it happens.
Ain't many in
You know
this
what I
state.
mean?
Well,
And-
there are many that neither one pay child support either.
Yeah.
'cause they both take care of their
and
kids.
half the time it works out fine. You know, I got a buddy of mine that's like that, and he's a good dad. You know, I a great man. I'm not gonna lie, but I believe if you made it like a WIC card, there would not be a lot of men on child support right now, or a lot of women on child support right now, because if I could only buy the clothes for children and the food, how am I gonna get my bills paid and all that stuff? You know, but that's on you.
The system's broken for
Yeah.
one. People
But if we
take
switch to
advantage of the
that-
system.
It's flawed.
Yeah.
Have multiple
sure.
kids with multiple people, and then
Some people made a business out of it. That's the crazy part, you know.
Well, there's no absolutes in any of that because
right.
you have women that are the primary, they have primary custody of their kids, and their former spouse that they had kids with doesn't pay their part, and so these are women that go out and they do it on their own.
A real man takes care of his children.
I agree.
Okay, that's
Both
a man.
emotionally and financially.
Yeah, you got to be there. You know,
Can't write checks and then check out. I was very fortunate because I said it last time. My ex did not have me pay the state formula. I paid less, and so I never complained about having to pay child support and paying less than what I should. And granted, I know the money that that went to her helped cover rent, helped keep a roof over their head, helped keep food on the table, helped buy them clothes. But there was also times, and she'd be the first to admit this, there were also times where, they'd come stay with me for the weekend, and I'd go pick them up at the house. I was like, let's just go. We'll go buy some new clothes. We go buy new clothes, or school's coming up. I'd take them to go, clothes shopping because I enjoy going shopping. And so,
Me too.
Kathy didn't like to go shopping, so I enjoyed it. So I'd take the girls and use my money to buy them clothes. Now, did I get to take that off my child support? No. This was an addition. Buy them shoes, go to Rack Room, buy one, get one.
My daughter and I go buy shoes a couple times a year when
buy one,
she needs
buy
some new ones too.
and
She's
so
20 years old now.
That's what I was going to say. That's the funny part. When they turn
We still
18,
do
you
it.
still paying child support because they're going to call you, Dad, I need help.
yeah, I
Mom,
still
I need help.
If
You
I
know?
have it, and the girls need it. I mean, my account got hacked, so Lindsay was at that conference and wanted money for a sweatshirt. I'm like, sweetie, I ain't got it.
Yeah.
Dad's account got hacked. I'm broke. But but if I have it, I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
And if I have to go out of town, I'll ask Lindsay to watch the dogs. Because man, I can't load them hippos up and take them wherever I want to go. I'd love to, but I pay her. Probably pay her more than what would pay a normal sitter. But she, the dogs love her. She does good. So yeah, I mean, if Peyton and Cooper needed money, I'll send them money. If I have it, I don't need a lot, man. I got bread, I got peanut butter, honey, I got some chicken salad.
When I said there's one night stands and that's just after that something starts to happen, you can learn to love somebody in the process.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be willing to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Got to be open to it.
Yeah, that's the problem right now. Nobody's open to it. And then you got men looking for the right woman, and it's not there. There's no perfect woman. There's no perfect man. And right now, I've seen women breaking down on social media. I can't find the right man. You know what? There's people who try to have kids and they can't, and they stop trying and they have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying.
Yeah, I know people who've done that.
Yeah, and maybe the right one will come. You're such in a rush to have this Disney happily ever after that a lot of times the man you want is right in front of you. You just haven't opened your eyes, or the woman you want.
Or you
she's
haven't
right in front
given,
of
or
just,
you haven't given them a chance.
Yeah,
because you have in your head this vision of what
looks don't last forever, and people get that twisted. What
We
if
all get older and wrinkly and droopy.
What if the person you're married to gets into a car accident and their face gets disfigured? You gonna leave them?
No.
No. You know what keeps you there? Love. You ever heard the saying, a lot of men don't get their flowers until they're dead? Right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
And a lot of men and women don't appreciate the relationship they had until it's gone.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. I have, friends of mine that are married and they're arguing. I'm like, you're an idiot, dude. Well, and kind of getting to relationships and talking about, culture. Culture has a lot to do with it. Because, I mean, I've never been in a faith-based marriage. I'm over 2, so I've never been in a faith-based marriage. I don't disagree with getting to know somebody, but I think you can get to know somebody without living with them. Like if I'm not going to live with someone of the opposite sex unless we're married. Now, yeah, I get the whole, you got to kick the tires before you buy the car. Well, okay,
Well,
that's
my ex-wife and I lived together for 4.5 years.
yeah,
before we got married.
that's culture. And if I'm going to be if
A lot
I'm
of
going to
people do
be if I'm going to be out front and praying for people at church on Sundays, and I'm going to be an iron group leader, and I'm involved at base camp and stuff like this at church, then when people see me and they know me, they get to know me, then they need to see Jesus in me. And Ross on Saturday at Brotherhood Conference, Ross Tyler, like before a song, he gave this very impassioned talk about, because he just got back from Tennessee doing some songwriting and stuff, and he gave this very impassioned plea about, men, what do you want people to say about you when you're gone? And more importantly, when people see you, if they know that you're a Christ follower, do they see Christ in you by your actions? So I can't.
They'll know you by your fruit.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience say that, I'm going to live with somebody before I marry him. And I also will say that I'm not going to marry someone that's not a believer, that we don't have this understanding. And to me, that we've made divorce too easy in this country. And we've also...
Ronald Reagan's no-fault divorce.
Yeah, and here's the other part of it. Here in this state, you live in sin with someone for, 6 weeks? You're a common law marriage.
You have to present yourself as a married
couple.
type couple. Like
Well,
if you check into a hotel or
and
the
you get,
same name.
if you're
or
getting
you
mail
have,
at the same address,
and you have
and,
bank accounts that are mixed.
and you're doing the same
They'll call
thing.
you common law married.
It's
but-
common law marriage, and in the laws of Texas,
Yeah.
if you break up, any assets you've accumulated in that time, they're entitled to half. So we made it easy to live immoral, and
Nobody gets married no more though. It's gone.
well, that's those
Well, let's
are-
not use absolute. It's not gone.
That's not absolute,
But
but
look
that's
at
a
the marriage
choice.
rate and the single rate right now.
That's a choice.
There are a lot of Gen Z
That's
guys that
culture.
are not, and millennial guys too, that are not dating because everything's gone onto dating apps, and it's just not personal
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't do those. Well, and the last time I was on dating apps, it was like probably about 2 years ago. It's the same people.
Yep.
It's the same people I saw on there 2 years ago. I'm like, you either need to lower your standards or you just need to
That's the problem.
quit trying so
The
hard.
standards are way up here.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, ooh, hold on. You know, you want me to make $90,000? Like,
well,
hold
and
on,
I,
what?
Mm-hmm.
and I have my deal killers. I mean, you need to be a believer. Don't just be a Christian. Be a Christ follower. I want to be with somebody that wants to go to church together and is understanding and minister to other people. And I'm not saying I'm not going to be I'm not going to be a pastor and stuff like that. That's not my gift. That's not what I'm put here to do. But I'm not. Again, culture has made it easy. Growing up, soap operas. Man, everybody sleeps with everybody on those, and then you get the one couple that's supposed to be the rock solid couple in a soap opera, and all of a sudden, the husband cheats or the wife cheats.
Mm-hmm.
And how many-
You watching soap operas?
I grew up watching soap
Me
operas.
too.
General Hospital, Guiding Light, As
One
the
Life to
Returns.
Live.
Yeah,
All My Children. My wife makes fun of me. Yeah, of course.
yeah. It's a culture thing, and the movies and TV have made it easy to live that life, and that's not biblical. And I think we're seeing, in my opinion, a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are seeing a change. I think we're seeing a change of
Well, it's going up a little.
of people going to Christ, of people turning to Christ, and not moving in together and doing more of the traditional courting and dating and waiting until they get married. And to me, that's part of how you make marriage work, is if you get married and you move in together and there are differences, then you sit down and you talk it out. You come up with some kind of compromise.
Not everybody believes in the Christian way of
No.
marriage. So
Mm-mm.
if you're already a non-believer, you're not going to care if you're going to church, and you're not going to care if you get married or not, because you're not going to church anyway. You don't believe it. You're going to live in a common law marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine too, because that's how it started. Anyway,
Yeah.
the whole marriage thing was a government piece of paper.
It's a government thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people think government should get out of the marriage business
Yeah,
altogether.
they started the marriage business basically, except for I guess
And we got all kind of
biblical
business out
times.
there. We got marriage business, the religion business,
all sorts of
sports business. We got it all. I just
Everything's monetized.
I know for me, like I look
Look at
at my girls.
in the last 50 years.
I look at my children. I look at my daughters.
Wow.
And I want my daughters to be in good faith-based relationships and marriages. And Peyton and Cooper, they're great, and I know it's not perfect and hunky dory all the time, but I know that they walk through things, and Cooper is a spiritual leader of that family, and I know that my grandson's being raised in a Christian home, and like the other day I'm out walking the hippos, and I'm walking in my parking lot at my complex.
Walking what?
My dogs.
The
house hippos. Dude, keep up, man. Come on, Ray.
Hey, whatever.
He gets one phone call, man.
Hippos.
His pizza's ready or
Sloths.
something. So, well, I have a Staffordshire, and pitties are known as house hippos, and Lexi's a pointer mix, and she's a house hippo too, because they sleep 23 and a half hours a day, and the other half hour they're bugging me to take them out for walks and to go pee. I'm out walking, and this truck pulls up, and I'm talking to my friend Coach Herrera, and this truck pulls up, and the window rolls down, and it's my son-in-law. I'm like, what are you doing over here? He goes, I'm over here to let a friend's dog out. I'm like, oh. My son-in-law's a hard-working guy, and I've told Peyton before, like, I'm so thankful that you met him. They met at Connection Church, so I'm thankful that they met. And my parents haven't met Cooper in person yet. This is what I told my parents. I said, Cooper's the kind of guy. I told Dad, I said, Cooper's the kind of guy that Uncle Jerry would have liked, my dad's brother, that Uncle Jerry would have liked, because he likes to fish. He's a redneck. I said, and for both of y'all, he's the kind of guy that Granddaddy would have liked. Archie, my mom's dad, that he would have liked, because he's a hardworking young man. He's a yes sir, no sir guy. He's a man of faith. He walks his faith out. He does all those things. And as a father, I couldn't ask for anything more for my daughter. And he Peyton told him, like, I want to be in ministry. And so working in ministry doesn't pay a lot. And so, he goes out and he busts his butt to provide for them as a man, as a good godly man, which is what he's supposed to do. Lindsay, my youngest, on the other hand, hasn't had the best experience relationships, and I think she's kind of at a point right now where she's just put that on the back burner. Let me finish school. Let me focus on my relationship with God, and that'll take care of itself. And my girls want me to meet somebody. They want me to be with somebody. They don't want me to be alone. I was like, well, y'all need to check on me every now and then, because if something happens, I die in the middle of the night, those dogs are going to eat me or something. I don't know, but y'all need to check on me frequently. If I don't answer, then you need to come and use your key to. If you smell the stench,
you
then
teach your dogs to have, what's that when you fall down you can't get up, the old school
life alert.
Have the dogs push a button,
Life alert. Yeah, I'm 54, dude. I'm not 84. I don't have a life alert button.
54.
This fool in here is telling me I need a life alert button and teach my dogs how to push it if something happens to me.
Hey, you never know.
If I fall down, it's because of them. Because they drug me down.
It's the dog's fault?
Dude, they're
strong. big
Bro,
dogs.
my dogs are strong. They're like straight muscle. Because we're walking, what is today, Friday? We're walking Wednesday, and we're out on the sidewalk by Amberwood Loop, and this guy's jogging. I don't think he's really paying attention. He's got his headphones on. He's got his dog. Well, I'm holding my two. Well, they crisscross behind me and come up to the front. So if they start to go forward, it's going to sweep my legs. And so luckily I let Lexi's leash loose, and I was able to grab it. Well, Anna almost got loose. So Anna's my Staffordshire. Anna's leash starts to get loose, and I'm holding on to the handle with these three fingers, and I'm like holding on like this as hard as I can. It hyperextended my fingers, and I'm like, they're dragging me in the middle of the street and Anna's like trying to get to that dog, and I was like, no, I'm pulling back, and I finally got him under control. Anna's hair is on a stripe down her back, standing up. I'm like, you Cujos, man, y'all need to calm down. So they're strong. So walking them at the same time, it's an ab workout.
How much they weigh?
Lexi weighs like 95 pounds, and Anna's right about 85.
Dang, what you feeding these dogs, bro?
Food. Well, for
Big
Christmas,
dogs.
they each got a new.
Steaks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dog, hey, for Christmas, bro, For Christmas, my dogs each got a New York strip.
And so
and when
who's
I
really the hippo, him or the dog, right? Like, that's
hey
just
man,
easy, bro.
hey, I'll be honest with you, man. My dogs will get food before I will. If I'm running low on money, and I have a choice between buying dog food or buying food from me, they're getting dog food. Those are my 4-legged babies, man. You're not no. If I had the money and the space, man, you put on there like, if someone doesn't come get this dog, it's going to be put down. I'm like, oh, I'm on my way.
Send them over.
I
Drop
have a
them
whole
off.
gaggle of them, man. All Staffy pits. I
love pit bulls.
love Lexi.
I just can't have them in my house. They're not allowed to.
I love Lexi,
Pull
but
that mic in a little more.
I love Lexi to death. She's a great dog. She's the OG for me.
Yeah.
Anna's older, but Anna's a typical Staffordshire. She's a Velcro dog, and she is aware. Everywhere we go, she's aware. She's looking around. You know, she sees kids. Lexi's afraid of kids. Anna's not. You know, Anna has her eyes and they're black around it, and she has a heart shape on her forehead.
And they're both pit bulls?
No, Lexi's the pointer mix, like a German Shepherd
Okay.
Beagle mix.
I wanna switch it up and
Cujos.
and speak on hatred.
Yeah, what you got?
Who do you hate?
I don't hate anybody.
Do you hate yourself?
No. But I look now and I see a lot of hatred happening. Like if there's a person that's LGBT community, whatever, it drives me crazy to hear Christians say, you're going to hell, you're wrong, all this other stuff. Because I feel like, in my opinion, you shouldn't say that. Like we said in the beginning, you can't not cast judgment on anybody. Only one person can do that. I love anybody. I said hi to a person recently, and I had a Jesus shirt on, and he had like a I love Satan or something like that, and I was like, love it. It doesn't hurt me. Like, you're not offending me, brother. Like, I know where I stand. It's just words. It doesn't hurt me. You know what I mean? But now on the internet, you'll be surprised how many people are ending themselves because of the internet. And, I wish parents would open their eyes and tell a child, listen, if somebody's bullying you, cyberbullying you, just delete the page. Don't respond.
There's Lexi right there.
Oh,
Cujo. She was thinner back then. Look
don't-
how pretty she is.
That was before Christmas steaks.
It was like a hunting dog.
This is a while back.
Oh,
She-
before the
she-
steaks.
She's afraid of her own shadow.
Before her new diet.
But people see him like, sir, mister, your dogs are very pretty. I'm like, I know.
Anyway, back to hatred. I sidetracked you with the picture.
But no, like the hatred is real, and it's to the point now where it's just ridiculous. People take, internet gangsters. That's what I call them.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, and they're sitting there and they're just writing, and I'm like, man, guys, you have no clue. Things you can say can make somebody not be here tomorrow or today.
Well, and parents need to be more attentive about what their kids are on. Roblox. If you're listening to this and parents, your kids are playing Roblox, I don't care if you have the chat feature disabled, you need to cut that stuff out. There is
do not support that
grooming.
company.
Do not support that company. They allow child groomers on there.
I'm surprised it's not shut down yet.
I'm surprised it's not shut down. I mean, quit.
But guess who plays it too?
Adults.
Right.
Well, why do you think they're on there?
They're on there.
Why do you think adults are on there?
And they're getting kids
They're
to leave
child predators.
the chat rooms there and go to other private chat rooms off Roblox so that their parents won't know.
And they get the kids to send them pictures, and they use it to blackmail them.
Yep.
See,
And that's why kids are killing themselves because of this game, because they're being blackmailed by a bunch of pervs.
Yeah.
They're gonna bleep. They're gonna block that.
Kids.
Sean
kids.
Ryan's done several
Sean
episodes
Ryan's
on
done a
it.
couple podcasts, and like
I don't
literally
think
has.
he's going to stop until he shuts
No,
that
he's
company
not.
down.
Had a guy pull out his laptop, and within 5 seconds of being in a room, so he put on there 13. The guy asked him how old he was. I'm 13. The guy started grooming right then.
But see,
It doesn't take
I
him
blame
long.
parents. I blame parents.
It's bullying. There's bullying. There's grooming.
Yep. I blame parents.
It is because it's easy to parent kids with this.
Yep. Right now, when a child cries, they put a tablet right in front of them.
Yeah.
Back then, we would sit there. Listen,
You see it at the grocery
I have
store.
an amazing father, an amazing dad, amazing stepfather. My stepfather never whipped me, but I've called whoopings, and I don't agree with beating your child or anything like that. I believe in respecting, but understand that your child is not your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You are the parent.
Mm-hmm.
When they get to a certain age, you become best friends.
When our kids were little is when the Leap Pad came out,
Mm-hmm.
before the iPad and the tablets and
the
stuff.
frog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Leapfrog.
Yeah.
And, we really didn't think anything of it. It's just Leapfrog. We had our own phones, but we didn't have all the apps we have today. But that turned into the Fire tablet.
Mm-hmm.
It turned into the iPad.
Yep.
And then eventually their phones. So my youngest kids grew up, the oldest two, but they were already a little bit older, with that screen. But we didn't use it as a babysitter. We used it more as an education tool. But as they became teenagers, it did kind of become their world.
Yep.
The Instagram started getting popular, and
Well, people at church, they have their kids in service.
Yeah.
They give them a phone.
yeah,
Keep them from screaming and crying.
You know what? That movie, this is why I said about people destroying themselves. That movie, Wall-E, from Disney, when they're working every day,
Wall-E.
they're laying back, overweight. The screen is right here in their
Yep.
face.
It's like the Matrix.
And it wasn't until he fell off and he realized where the water was, and and there was a pool in the area, and but this is what's happening with children. We have a lot of children that are obese right now, and I look at it, and I'm like, who child? Like,
Yeah.
Get your child needs to get up and run. It should not just be sitting there. But you got to
obesity.
protect them from the hate on the internet. You got to protect them from what they see. There's people on TikTok that put on makeup or use filters. Right now, the filter game is crazy. There was a woman on recently, and by mistake, she did some type of movement on her face, and it changed. And I was like, oh,
It looked like that movie Signs, where the alien walks out behind the bush, and they're watching the movie with the shields on their head, and they're like, oh, my God.
But to go back to the AI thing, now, if there's an app you can download, and let's say if James wants to be a female, he can be a female, talk, move his arms and everything like that, and it does that. That's grooming right there.
Your name is Jamie.
I was Jamie until the 4th grade.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
What?
I still get called Jaime sometimes.
Jaime.
Yeah.
But this is where it's at now, and we got to protect the innocence of our children, because
Well, parents need to step up and parent.
Yeah.
how are you going to step up and parent when you're a child yourself? You're acting like it.
Well,
So who's
Yeah.
parenting who? So we need the elderly to step in.
I disagree with that.
No, because the elderly have a lot of knowledge that we
I guess it
need to.
depends on how it's presented.
True.
It depends on how it's presented. That's not.
But you know what? There's grandmas that are stuck on the internet right now that are on the phone. There are grandpas the same way. So who are we talking to here? We're talking to everybody. Seniors, children, parents.
Yeah.
So it's so alarming that it's happening and we're not doing nothing about it. And the hatred thing, it's gonna lead to people not wanting to be living no more. And
Well,
you know how many parents put their relationship on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand this punk, da, 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 da. And people comment and like, and it's like,
James, how often do you see me post personal stuff on the Book of Face?
Well, I'm not on there much anymore. But
you call it the Book of Face?
You put
Don't
your
worry about what I call it.
How you talk, bro?
you put your daily,
Daily Bible
Word,
verse,
yeah,
Bible
my
verse up there.
commentary.
but that's
To
it.
do, I don't.
I used to use it for a lot of personal stuff, and
Yeah, I
and
don't-
I don't anymore because it's not. Facebook
not a-
is not a healthy environment.
It's not a healthy environment, and
It's one of the worst platforms out there now.
yeah. Well, even on TikTok, I share
And
things.
it really just depends on your algorithm.
Yep.
And how much you're on there. But yeah, like I've got 4 algorithms in some places, and they're all a little bit different because Daryl sends me jacked up stuff.
I don't send you jacked up stuff. I
tried to get you back last night with that one.
You did, didn't work. Yeah, I don't send you. I send you funny things.
They are funny.
Well, I had to
Weird.
make sure. I had to make sure that you're going to see it. What?
You know what I have to say
I send
before
you
I forget.
I send you educational stuff too.
I see it. I see it. Like all the LeBron James and stuff, but we'll let that go. I gotta say this because it happened to me a few days ago. I was on the internet, and my son was in the room, my wife, and this motivational video came up with like about fathers, and like a dummy, I click like. After 10 videos, the videos turned depressing. I started feeling something change in me, and I said, ooh. So my wife's like, no, go back to that video. I said, no, because if I watch that video, another sad video is going to come behind it. Before you know it, now I'm depressed.
Right.
So I said, I have to change it.
Mark Zuckerberg's being sued right now over that.
Really?
Over the Instagram algorithm.
Over the
destroying
manipulation.
teenage girls. And yeah, I'll pull that up for you too. Keep going.
See, but it's I
when
seen
that-
it firsthand.
Yeah, so when that stuff starts happening, I close out.
But that's
Yeah.
crazy that happens like that, because I was in a good mood. You know, like I watch one of my mom. Like there's guys that'll talk about how mothers are important, and I got to be careful because I love my mom and my dad and everything, and it'll make me start breaking down because of course you're saying things that are gonna make me break.
Yeah.
You know, oh, did you call your mom today? Oh, she was such a good person. Oh, your dad's such an amazing person. Next thing you know, I'm sitting in this room and I'm crying, and I'm like, dang it, Facebook.
That's because you're
you know?
weak, dude.
I'm not weak. Real men cry. I cry. You know what?
Amen.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have ADHD. There's times where I cry randomly, and I have to hold it in because I don't want my wife to be like, "Ooh, what's wrong with you?" You know. But I don't. I wish I could
cry a lot.
explain why I do it, but I can't. My emotions go up
There's
and
nothing-
down
you don't need
real
to
I
explain
crazy.
do too.
anything.
Do
There's
you
nothing-
cry in movies too?
Yes,
Me too.
there's certain
Or
parts that I'm like,
a,
dang.
Or like a sad commercial.
Yeah, it something changes in me. I don't know. I don't like it, and I can't.
It's
I
not
can-
always a bad thing though. When like sometimes it's like tears of joy,
Yeah.
you know, or
Well,
happiness, or you know something triggers an emotion from your past, and
Well, the
you're
other,
like, oh,
yeah.
Don't get it twisted. If
feel
I'm gonna fight, I cry. If I'm crying, you better run. Because I'm not crying because I'm sad. It's crying because this is about to be
it's-
bad.
The other
Yep.
day, I'm sitting at home and
43 states.
I called my parents.
What? 43 states suing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago. There's actually a newer one now.
I called my.
Sorry, that's Instagram though.
But
Well, Instagram
Mark
and Facebook.
Mark
is-
Zuckerberg owns
owns
Instagram.
both of them.
What?
Yeah, he bought Instagram 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're all under the Meta name.
Instagram started taking business from Facebook because it was a more visual platform.
Is that why? they
And
want
Mark
me to link the
Zuckerberg went,
page?
"We'll give you
Yeah.
$1 billion."
They're owned by the same people. It's Meta.
Yeah.
Man, you need to crawl up underneath that rock you're living under.
No,
bro.
I just don't want to get caught in this stuff.
But
I,
then-
too
I
late.
can't do it.
you have free will though.
Well, you're smart enough to have control of your algorithm and know when to turn it off. Just like you
Yeah.
said, once you noticed it was getting depressing, you're like, I'm done with that. And you can even go back and unlike it, and it'll reset or you can even reset your entire algorithm from scratch if you wanted to. You can go in your settings and reset everything. You could do that every day if you wanted to.
So, do you have ADHD too?
Oh yeah.
So then you randomly cry for no reason?
No, well, I mean, not bawling, but yeah. But I
It's
think
weird.
it's just, you know, a lot of it has to do with processing emotion.
Mhm.
And for a long time, there were certain things I didn't show emotion over because I didn't want to give anybody any kind of clues that something was wrong as a young child. And so I was able to control some things, but I still acted out in different ways. Like I was very hyperactive.
Yep.
I was very talkative in school. I would, you know, like negative attention was still attention.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't the smartest, the fastest, the toughest. So I had to use humor and
That's what I do.
and just making, you know, I tried to be friends with everybody, so I wouldn't get my ass kicked by anybody. You know, because if you're friends with everybody, somebody's got your back.
Yeah.
So I just tried to be the nicest person I could to most people, but I still, you know, got into fights here and there that weren't huge, but
Yeah.
I still got into skirmishes. But yeah, I think, and as adults, you're finally understanding how you can process those emotions, and you're letting more things flood in and flood out because you're able to release it. You know.
So let me ask you a question. Is there ever, my bad.
You're good.
Is there ever a point where you feel like there's something wrong, but you cannot explain it?
There used to be. I think most things now I can explain or I can figure out where that emotion came from.
I can't.
I can trace it back to somewhere.
I go through a depression phase sometimes where it's like, you know, I wish I could explain it, but it's just so much that I cannot cover it. And my wife kind of gets frustrated because I can't tell her exactly what is wrong with me. But there's something wrong, and I don't know how to say exactly what it is. And it's crazy to talk to somebody else. My son has ADHD too, so I'm very careful on what I say to him because I know what he goes through. You know, that's why I pulled him from school and I put him in homeschool because nobody understood me in school. You know?
Yeah.
And as an adult now, my mind runs circles. If I don't work out,
right,
I would have been different right now. Like I came out the gym, came here. I have to work out because if I don't, I go through
it helps a lot.
depression to the point where I'm willing to go and not be here no more.
Yeah, working out's not just for your body; it's for your brain too. So
that's amazing, though. That I don't know if you have ADHD too, but it's crazy to me. I receive information.
You can give Daryl ADHD just by changing the subject.
Oh goodness!
He goes down a rabbit hole.
I learned something. My stepdad told me one time. He said,
I don't go down rabbit holes like you do over here.
That's true.
Because James will text me, I'm like, he's down the rabbit hole.
Here we go.
Even in the Brat Pack, I'm like, James down the rabbit hole.
He probably goes communist. I bet you. But no,
I don't usually send him any communist stuff unless we're both calling him communist.
My stepdad explained to me one time how there's two different people. And I'm the person I'm the second person. The first person, let's say you were like, hey, this tree has smooth bark. And as a visual person, I'll look at it and be like, oh yeah, you're right. Me, with my ADHD, I have to go, I have to rub it, I have to hug it, I have to punch it. And then I'm like, you're right. It's smooth. And it's weird because when I try to tell that to people and they're like, how come you're not understanding what I'm saying? I'm like, you're not explaining it in a way where I can understand it. And if we go back to church real quick, there's certain things you could say which just goes right over my head, and it's just because I cannot understand what you're trying to tell me. I have to catch on to little things. Doesn't make me dumb.
No, not at all.
I receive information very different, than a lot of people.
And you can process it in different ways.
Yep.
And some information you process in different types of ways.
Yep.
Not always in the same way. Like you said, you touch it or you feel it or you hear it or you see it.
If you cried, I would feel it. If you're depressed, I would feel it.
Oh, yeah. If you started to cry right now, I'm going to tear up. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be over here like.
It's weird.
I'm not. I'm going to tell you to suck it up. I'm not. So the other day on the 11th, the 1 year anniversary of my brother passing, I'm sitting at home and, I've had some challenges lately. Been some attacks from the devil, and I'm just kind of sitting there, and as I'm thinking about a year ago, I called my parents to check on them. I did not text my nieces or my sister-in-law, and Angie and Avery and Aubrey, if you see this.
See, he acts tough, but this man has a heart.
I know.
It's not because I don't care.
Yeah. Everybody processes things differently,
Because I miss my brother. My brother, better husband and father than I was, and funnier than I am. And I process things different. Now, I do call and check on my parents because that's a rough day for them because my mom talks about why it wasn't her. And I was like, well, Mom, because this is God's plan for Mark. Yeah. And with his plan with Mark, this is what his deal was. And, I look and see, as a Christ follower, I look and see how much my nieces have grown in this year, and how my sister-in-law, how Angie's grown. I don't keep in touch like I should, and that's a failure on my behalf. It's something that I get caught up in my own little world down here and forget that there's other people that need attention too. And but I'm sitting in my apartment after I talk to my parents, and I'm loving on the dogs, and I'm watching TV, and certain things just kind of hit me, and as I see people posting things about my brother, and there's some pictures in there, and, it gets overwhelming because, my brother and I weren't overly close, as brothers probably should be. But we never hesitated to tell each other we loved each other.
Yep.
And I think as we were getting older, we talked about things that we were looking forward to in our older age, and so whenever he passed and I got up there and Dad and I went to go see him before they took him off to cremate him, we walk in and, you know, Dad looks at him, and so I'm watching Dad making sure he's okay, and Dad leaves, and I just looked at Mark and I'm like, it wasn't supposed to be this way, dude.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
And so people tell me, like, you know, he's watching over you. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the feet of Jesus
Mm-hmm.
and worshiping. I tell people all the time, if our relatives were watching over us, man, we'd all win the lottery.
It's true.
We'd all win the lottery. I'm like, that's not how that works. I mean, you know, Mark,
Mm-hmm.
you know, do we see things that remind us of them? And you know, my cousin Christy, she's a part Choctaw Indian, so they're really big into their culture. She posted a picture of these 2 white buffaloes, and she goes, I think that's a sign from Mark that he found my dad. He found Harold. Which, if he did, they right there having a good beer right now, having a good time, because Harold John was a great man.
Mm.
You know, so I'm, you know, assuming my brother's, you know, if these are things that happen up in heaven, he's up there cooking brisket and ribs for people and yucking it up with my
I sure hope
grandparents.
there's brisket in heaven.
God, man, I hope so, because if not, if we go and there's not brisket, we know where we're at. We're down below.
Right?
Isn't it crazy that we got to believe that in faith that we go up there? That is real.
We just go.
Yeah.
That's scary, you know. I know we step out in faith every day, you know.
I believe
But
it.
when we talk about,
I believe in heaven and hell.
yeah, I believe it got to exist, you know.
I believe there's a place where there's eternal life
Mm-hmm.
and there's eternal damnation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hell is a separation from God. It's not necessarily a pit of fire. It's a separation from
Ragged
from God.
clothes and dark caves and spiders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No.
It's funny, you know, that what you went into, because it was gonna be my next topic was, isn't it amazing how when we're younger, our brothers and sisters, we know everything about them, their whereabouts, what time they wake up, what they did, what they ate for breakfast, and then the older you get, it's like you just become a memory.
You drift apart a little
Yeah,
bit.
and it sucks
And
because
then a lot.
like my brother, I love him, man, you know, and we don't talk as much. And I tell my mom, I'm like, man, I want to reach out, but I know he probably won't pick up. He has his own life.
Mm-hmm.
And my sisters are the same way. And it's a scary thing to know that you're this close when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get older, a call once a year, once every 6 months if you're lucky, you know, and it's just like, damn, you know, I hope you still love me. I still love you. You know, it's an amazing thing. And my dad has a lot of brothers and sisters, and they talk on the phone as a group sometimes. And I wonder sometimes, like, this can't be how you were as kids. You know, I would love to be a fly on the wall and see how it was back then.
It probably wasn't, but you know, I tell you what helped me a lot, other than my faith in God and having a really good brotherhood connection back here of guys that were praying for me, is, you know, with my relationship with God, is going up there and hearing the things people said and reading the things that people said about my brother.
Yeah.
And yeah, because, you know, when he died, like 16 days later was his birthday.
Ooh.
And, you know, it's a hard thing to come to grips with. And again, I sit back and people are like, you know, my mom's like, well, they should have taken me. Well, that's not God's plan. I tell you what's great about it is to hear the amazing things people said about my brother. Like, he always made me feel important.
Yeah.
He always made me feel good. And my brother was a jokester. My brother could cook, man. He could barbecue some meat, man. He could smoke meat, and he always, was the life of the party and super hilarious, and he had a heart of gold. Even when his daughters grew up and they aged out of the soccer system. My brother played soccer. He coached soccer. He was the president of our soccer association back in my hometown that my dad had been president of. And so there's some legacy there, and there's some things named after him there, and so I look with pride.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that there's regrets, but there are things that I look back on and say, I should have been better about communicating with him and staying in touch with him. And so what I learned from that, what I take from that, and what I incorporate into my life now is I don't let time go without telling friend I love you, because it could be the last time I see him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And I didn't get to tell him that.
He knew.
He knew, but so now if I go somewhere, or I go visit my parents, son, be careful. You're the last one. That's what I get.
Dang.
And it's nothing against my mom and dad,
Yeah.
but
No pressure.
Parents shouldn't have to bury their kids.
No.
And, Angie just got back from a trip to Ireland with her mom. Scotland, Ireland. She went to Ireland. And I think she took some of my brother's ashes, because she asked me if I wanted some of his ashes. I'm like, no, that's y'all's thing. I said, when mom and dad pass, I'll take theirs, and don't want that to be for a while. I'm thankful that Angie got to go on that trip and experience that with her mom, because her mom's husband passed away a while back too, and so they kind of sharing this grief of losing a spouse. But I'm sitting there looking at the pictures of her in where they were at. I think they were in Scotland, and they were beautiful pictures, and I know that's exactly where Mark would have wanted her to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Mark, my brother, ever traveled out of the country like that, like she has, and like I've been able to be blessed with, and but I know he was there with her in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And if he were to look down, he's proud of her, because I know I am, and
yeah.
I can't imagine what it would be like to lose a spouse. And your kids are old. You just had your first grandchild, and and again, I probably shouldn't speak on this because I'm again wasn't good about staying in touch. But my brother and I were at a point where every time we talk, like, hey man, I'm proud of you and I love you.
Yeah.
And so, and again, I guess for me, that's kind of where I'm at in my life, that I'm not going to let it go by that I don't tell somebody I love them and I care about them. I'm also not going to hold on to grudges and being upset at people, like the things that have been going on lately. I'm not going to hold grudges, and what I'm going to look at it is like, this is God's way of telling me that time in your life is done. It's time for you to retire and move on. I've got something better for you. I've got something else for you. I can't put you in the rooms and in front of the people I need to when you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order for you to keep growing, I need you to be free of that encumbrance so that you can help do these things.
Yeah.
Whether it's being charge of an iron group and asking guys, like, hey, what do you think we need to be doing to help minister to men here at our church? Okay, because if you're going to ask me to ask guys that, and then when they give me answers, then better be ready, because I'm going to tell you, Pastor Jody, I'm going to tell you, because there's guys that are hurting right now that need some mentoring because they don't know how. We don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I do this? How do I become a better husband? How do I become a better father? You know, I think that's what's great about our KLZ program, because there are guys at our church that take their kids there that did not grow up. They have dad wounds. They didn't grow up with a father that taught them to hunt and fish. We grew up fishing. My dad took my brother and I fishing. We weren't hunters per se. Going hunting wasn't our thing, but man, we go fishing. And then when my Uncle Jerry moved to town, we went fishing more. And I love to go fishing. It's fun. It's peaceful. It's relaxed. But my brother, if he didn't catch a fish in the first 10 minutes, that fool's ready to go.
Me too.
I got some awards in Florida for fishing. I worked for Florida Fish and Wildlife when I was younger. That was my first job I ever had. My stepdad got me the job, and he works at Texas Parks and Wildlife now. But that was amazing. He taught me
one
a lot
of the best
stuff.
organizations in this state is Texas Parks and Wildlife.
And he taught me a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot when I was in Florida Fish and Wildlife, and I became a man, honestly.
Are you more of a saltwater fish?
Oh,
or
no, freshwater.
Freshwater, okay. Yeah, you're less communist now.
Yeah. Saltwater scares me. I'm like, you never know what you're going to bring up.
Dude,
don't touch that. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What's wrong
It's
with
got
it?
barbs. See those fins? Those are barbs on there, yeah.
It's an electric one. Oh, okay.
I've never got into saltwater fishing. My Uncle Jerry lived on the coast for a while, and we went down there, stayed a while, and he'd go catch redfish. We go crabbing. Go to the store and buy a bunch of turkey necks, chicken necks, and tie them on a string, throw them in the water, and catch crabs. And
That's crazy.
his Cajun friend Webb would cook things up for us, and I think everybody needs a good Cajun friend in their life.
I've never been hunting before, but I'm not a fan of shooting a gun. I don't like the feeling.
I like shooting guns.
I
don't want to go. I don't know that I want to go. Shoot animals, but
Yeah.
I have friends of mine. Trust me. I love eating dove. I love eating deer. Jacob goes hunting all the time, and
Dove?
so I like. Oh
You
yeah,
eat dove?
yeah.
You mean duck or dove?
Dove.
Yes, all
Dove
of the
hunting's
above.
big in Texas.
Dove, duck, quail,
What's a dove taste like?
a dove,
Little tiny chicken.
dark meat.
Oh, that's got to be good.
Yeah, you wrap it with bacon, put a little cream cheese in there, jalapeno,
Throw it on the grill.
grill
Hippo.
it. Yeah,
The real hippos right
And
here.
then feed it to your dogs.
Uh-huh. And then he calls them hippo.
I don't give them that because the jalapenos will mess up their
true.
stomach.
Oh.
But
You leave
Yeah.
that all over your living room
Poor
floor.
dogs,
when
right?
I was at Elgin, I had kids that would like, "Hey, coach, I'm going to be late to class today." Why? First day of dove season. So they'd go hunt, and they drop their gun back off at home, come to school,
You
change
should
clothes
just
out,
take it to school with you
Yeah.
and put it in the back of your truck.
change clothes out in the parking lot, and they'd come in with a bag. What's in there? That's some dove for you, coach.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I'd bring it home and go buy jalapenos, cream cheese, and bacon, wrap that sucker up, and cook it on the grill.
Small, I guess, because doves
Yeah.
aren't big at all.
No, they're not that big. I actually prefer quail. It's a little bit sweeter meat.
I tried that. That's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Quail's a lot
It's tiny
better.
as hell, though, but it's good.
Yeah, and then deer jerky, deer
Never
sausage,
tried deer before. I've tried
low
You
fat.
had deer chili.
alligator.
Deer chili is really the only time I've eaten deer.
You should have come to base camp a couple times because Don Disco, man, we've had deer chili up there. We've had wild boar chili. We can do it all, man. But I mean, I look back. Getting back to my brother there. I would remember the times as we got older, we'd go fishing. We ain't catching anything. I'm going home. So I'd stay out there. I'd be out there for like 2 hours. Come in. Did you catch anything? No. Man, what a waste of time. Like, dude, I'm relaxed, man.
The only thing I ever caught was like in a silver can with Rocky Mountains on it, and you go,
Oh, my God.
and I would just sit there and wait.
12 later, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Catch
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
never-
12-ounce fish.
I've never gotten drunk off of beer.
Really?
Whiskey. I
Drinking
love
beer.
whiskey. It takes a lot for me to get drunk now.
Before I
believe it or not.
quit, beer got stronger. So
Really?
yeah, those craft beers you can get 9-10%
Yeah, I've seen
alcohol
that.
by volume, which is
Voodoo-
like
Voodoo
2
Ranger.
beers.
Right.
Which
Voodoo
one?
Ranger? Voodoo.
Voodoo Ranger was
Voodoo
good.
Ranger. Yeah. I think so,
IPAs.
Yeah.
Voodoo Ranger.
Thirsty
IPAs.
Goat had a good one. Buckethead was their double IPA, so it was like 9.5%.
Nah, I love
IPAs.
whiskey. I'm a whiskey man.
You drink 6 of those, you're
Whiskey. Oh, I smoke
Yeah.
it too. You know, you put the little thing on it and smoke it with the like cedar. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, on the glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what? Yeah.
No, you can. No, I don't. Nah.
Like,
Hey, I smoke.
I mean, I've used alcohol in bong water before.
let me
That's
tell
nothing.
you. I don't want to say this story.
But that was a long
What
time
whiskey
ago.
do you drink? What's your drink? What's your whiskey of choice?
I like Jack Daniels. I like Crown Apple. I like Royal. I like Texas. I forgot what it's called.
Wait till you get good whiskey.
What's good whiskey?
Not that.
I
Not
like-
what
but I
you
like
just
sweet.
described.
I like sweet.
Daryl knows his whiskey better than I do now because I
Yeah.
quit drinking. But I used to bartend for 15 years, and
Yeah, that's why you were drinking.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
A
right
lot of
there.
it was- yeah.
I could
Fueling the
never.
habit.
I could never smoke, man.
Mm.
I could never. You know what? If
I'm praying
My-
for you, Ray.
my first time smoking, right?
Crown Apple.
I was whatever. My first time
I'm just
smoking, I was 18. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story.
Did you see my facial expression as he went down
That's
the
why I
list?
didn't look at him for that.
You said
reason.
Jack Daniels, and he went.
He said, "Oh no,
That just the first one. I was almost done.
At least you didn't
And
say
then he-
Jim Beam.
they're okay.
Or-
They're honey. Their honey Jim Beam is good.
What's the
And-
one that starts with an E? It's real lower than Jim Beam. Ethan something or
Evan Williams.
Evan Williams.
Oh, that's the cheap.
You like a
stuff.
handle for $10.
that's like-
You're drinking the cheap stuff.
No.
Crown Apple. He said Jack Daniels.
Crown Apple's a little bit higher.
I like Crown Vanilla with some
Jack
vanilla
is
Pepsi.
Jack's just
I
a classic
can't.
American
I can't.
whiskey, though. I mean, Jack's a
I can't.
classic.
I just
American.
told you I like my stuff sweet, so I'm not
That's
gonna get the
gross.
hardcore stuff.
Yeah, you can buy good whiskey and make it sweet with some simple syrup.
I don't. Well, you're gonna have to teach me after this when we're done out of here.
I charge.
Oh,
Remember, I'm
my
retired now,
goodness.
You have
So
to
I
bring
got-
the bottle.
I'm gonna bring him a Dove. We'll be all right.
That's right.
Yeah,
Tell me
you
that
can't
funny
just
story.
bring one Dove. You got to bring doves.
Tell me that funny story now.
So, my first time
You're
ever
18?
smoking weed, I was 18, man.
I was 14.
14.
Come
Yeah,
on,
I was never into that, and I was trying to show out.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to impress a
And
girl.
it was in New York with my brothers and sisters on the other side of the fam, and we did like my brother made like a bong or something like that, and I think we held it in as long as we could, and I didn't feel nothing, man.
That happens sometimes.
And I remember doing it, and then I think I turned like to the right, and I was on the couch. And I was like, well, how the hell did I get here, right? And I sat in the middle of the couch, right? And, you know, if there was two couches, there's a middle part. Well, I sat down, and I sunk into the couch like if I was falling. And I remember telling my sister, I was like, I could see my heart. Like, I was tripping, yo. Like, and my sister was like, go lay down. And it was my sister, you know, Cassie, and she was like, go lay down. I'm like, all right. I felt like I could hear the person on the 4th floor, and we were like on the 8th
Oh yeah,
floor.
you're high.
I was tripping, and never again. Ever since then,
Really?
I will never smoke weed again. You couldn't catch me smoking weed. It's not for
It
me.
didn't have. I mean, there were times where I got so blown out that I mean, it was usually there was alcohol involved anyway. I mean, I never really went on a straight marijuana diet, cannabis diet.
I can never do it. I know friends
I
that
don't
wake
even.
up.
I can't even tell you how much weed I've smoked. It's been that much.
Really, I've
Yeah.
never.
I mean, my whole 20s was
You couldn't get me.
nothing but weed.
I didn't really start drinking
And more.
until I was like 28, 29.
Really?
I've always been a
That's good.
person to be careful what I put in my body.
Yeah.
You know, I was drinking pre-workouts at 16.
Yeah.
You know, no explode. I was drinking that. I was into fitness,
Yeah.
you know, and I was such a lightweight back then. One shot, I'm dancing the whole night at
Ray,
the
I
club.
have news for you. You're still not drinking.
I'm not.
You're drinking child's drinks.
I'm not. Oh, goodness.
That's okay. You shouldn't drink any of it.
He's bad influence. You see what he's doing?
He is a bad influence.
Yeah. I want to know how much you smoked.
I didn't smoke.
Never.
I grew up Church of Christ, dude. We're legalistic, bro.
And he's been teaching his whole career.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole adulthood.
Weed is not a sin.
It was in the Church of Christ.
Yeah. So was dancing and
Yeah.
drinking, and
Oh, man.
Yeah.
you go to hell if you're dancing because you might bump into each other, your clothes fall
Oh!
off, and you have sex on the dance floor.
No comment.
It's only really a sin if you let it control you and inebriate you. Really, like alcohol itself is not a sin. Drunkenness. Is
Drunkenness is a sin.
Yeah.
Overindulgence.
A sin.
So you like sweet. You
impairment.
find the Garrison Brothers melon.
Melon. Is
Yeah.
that any store?
Yeah. So they only make the melon certain times a year.
I'm gonna go right after.
And
here.
Garrison Brothers, it's a yellow Yellow wax cap.
How much is it?
It's a little up there, man.
That's
It's
why I don't get it right there.
$74, man. It's,
Hell, I'm not spending $74.
okay, then quit. Then keep drinking your
For something
Ripple.
you're only renting.
Keep,
Yeah,
It's coming right back out.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Keep drinking your moonshine Ripple over there, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm straight. You know what's funny? My wife's cousin Josh.
Yeah,
we
the
tried
honeydew.
Everclear for the first time. I didn't know. Yo, I thought I was a Pokemon. I could have swore I was Charizard. I was blowing flames out my mouth. That thing, it felt like somebody
You got to
just
top Garrison Brothers.
punched me.
Yeah,
right
there
in
it
my,
is.
Oh, I've seen that before.
Honeydew. You know who you made that for?
$259.
$69.
Oh.
You know who he made that for?
Who?
His wife. Because she likes sweet whiskey.
You are not gonna try to put me on blast on the internet, boy. I tell you what.
He
What do
just
you mean
called
I'm
you
not
a woman.
Yeah, I'm just. You know what?
No, because she
He doesn't
couldn't
realize it. He just
she
did.
she
I'm leaving him
couldn't
alone.
she didn't drink the other stuff, and she's like, I want something like she likes melon. It's good. It's
It's not
worth
even
it.
a liter. It's a $7.50 for
Yeah,
70.
you drink it neat or drink it over the ice. And there's a lot of different kinds. There's Irish whiskey. There's Scotch whiskey.
I'm gonna let him slide.
Get you some Redbreast 12. You ain't letting me slide. I'm letting you slide
Nah,
for
you
not
gotta call me out. Nah,
not critiquing your Thunderbird drinking over
You
there.
called yourself out when you said crown apple. It's
I like
okay.
sweet.
It's
I don't
okay.
care.
I don't mind
can't.
it either. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
That's
crown
disturbing.
apple. Especially if you're doing shots. Like I would drink beer and do shots in between.
Top in.
So
I can't do
by the
beer.
time sometimes the night was over, I would have had 3 or 4 shots and 6 beers.
I'd rather have 12 shots than a beer.
Yeah.
I'll drink a beer very rarely, but
But whiskey always gave me a headache. The next
I like
day.
Guinness. See, it's out of stock. I like Guinness. Redbreast 12.
Guinness
It's
is
a 12-year-old.
garbage.
It's a 12-year-old.
Guinness is.
No, Guinness is amazing. It's nectar of the gods. It's
It tastes not terrible, but it's not
amazing.
the best.
It's great.
There are other styles
Redbreast
that are better.
12 is a 12-year-old Irish whiskey. Smooth, man, smooth.
he
Y'all are
gonna
gonna make me relapse here. We keep
No,
talking
I
don't-
know, right? Hey, it's his fault.
I'm just kidding.
No,
fault.
no.
I know where
because
that road goes.
You've hurt my spirits with your Jack Daniels and. I mean, get Maker's Mark or get TX whiskey or.
I tried
vodka.
Waker's Mark, but to me, it's very like
Maker's Mark is not as when it first came out, everybody was all excited about it, and now it's so mass produced, it's not the same anymore.
You know what I like?
Maker's Mark's.
Old-fashioned.
Yeah,
Those
old,
are- oh, I
well,
love
old fashions are good because you have simple syrup in there. Do you
And
make your
bitters,
own
you get
simple syrup?
bitters.
Do you know how to make your own
No, I
simple syrup?
cherry.
don't. I don't.
So at Nate's, the people who used to work at Nate's, they made theirs by using sugar in the raw.
What? Using what?
And
Yeah.
sugar in the raw
Raw
sugar,
Uh-huh.
and then mixing it with hot
Yeah.
water.
That's the best way to do it.
It's the best way to do
I
it.
used to make some great old fashions. People loved them. But
love
I worked at a
And you
country
gotta have-
club, and those old men.
You got to have
drinking
Luxardo
old-fashioned.
cherries. Can't have the Sonic cherries. You got to have
Yeah,
Luxardo
the Sonic cherries are
You
not
need
it.
the big ice.
Yeah.
Don't have the little ice cubes. You got to have the big ice. But I mean, like again, we were in Ireland and we're walking through the Titanic experience, and there's a guy in there whiskey barrel. It's like a 7th generation whiskey barrel maker. He's telling the story about whiskey barrels and stuff like that. He's like, because we're walking by, I was like, man, what's up, brother? He's like, how are you? I said, no, I'm doing fantastic. We started to walk. He goes, do you by chance like whiskey? I go,
Whiskey's
yes,
my middle
I
name.
do, sir.
Yeah, right.
So we walk back over there. He's telling us a story. He goes, this is 12-year-old Redbreast.
Damn.
He goes,
So the longer it sits, the better it tastes.
not necessarily, because I've tried a 14 and a 16, and I like the 12 better. It's smooth. And like Glenlivet is good. It's a good Irish whiskey. Macallan.
Callan's good scotch.
Whenever we were at the Austin FC game, we had the tickets Rob got. We had access to the club, so we had free food and drinks. We had a parking pass. We're parked right by the stadium. We're down there, and I go up to the bar to get a drink, and I was like, "Is that Macallan 12 back there?" He goes, "Well, yes, sir, it is."
And 12's the cheap stuff.
Yeah, he goes, "You have a good eye," and I said, "Let me guess, that is not part of the free beverages." He goes, "No, sir, it is not." And I go, "How much is it?" He goes, "Well, they charge a pretty penny for it." I said, "Okay." I said, I'll take." They had Steel Austin.
He said, "I'll take Crown Apple." Keep going. Uh-huh.
I'll take that Jack Daniels over there.
So you're a communist now. I would never drink Crown Apple.
Canadian whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't drink Crown. I don't want
Is
anything.
it true
in
the
it.
sweeter
drank
it
a
is,
lot
the
of Crown.
drunker you get? Right?
I don't know if that were true, then people would be drinking schnapps all the time.
No, it's just whatever your alcohol volume is.
So it's alcohol
Like
content.
Everclear is 90 proof or 180
You can run a
proof.
tractor on
It's
that
like
stuff.
90%
That's what I said
alcohol.
when I first did it. I felt like somebody punching my chest, and I became Charizard. I was
Most
blowing
alcohol
flames out.
is 40%.
Everclear is what teenagers drink.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a teenager.
Trash
but-
can punch is Everclear. But most whiskeys are going to be 80 proof, which is 40% alcohol by volume.
I have some high end bottles at home that are not empty yet. And,
Where you live?
well, I'm not sharing
On
with
the
you.
way
Your
to your
palate's not
house.
refined enough. You
On
got a
the way
ghetto
home.
palate.
Oh man,
You got a ghetto palate over here, man. I
Hey.
drink Jack Daniels.
ain't nothing wrong with being ghetto.
You gotta help them out.
Yeah, I want
Show
to.
'em-
I want to
show 'em
try.
the ropes.
Show me something. Like I want to taste the
I'm,
real.
I'm not gonna
stuff.
make it. I'm not gonna make it sweet for you because that
I don't
ruins
need it
the
sweet.
taste.
If you could make
Bro,
it the
you
way.
just sat here and said I
What
like
I'm
sweet.
saying.
I like sweet whiskey.
Listen, what I'm saying is, if you can show me, I'll try it.
You
Probably
should,
use ketchup on his brisket too.
That's disgusting.
couple of cubes
That's
of ice.
disgusting.
You know, about a
I have the
Two-
big.
two, three-
I have the big
three
ice
fingers.
cube.
With the ball. The ball.
I don't
ice
have.
cream.
I have one of those, but I just have. I prefer the big block.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that's one of the things I love hanging out with Rob a lot, and we share a passion for good whiskey. But he's kind of like you. He does like some sweet
sweet,
things.
yeah.
He'll drink some Crown Vanilla and stuff like that, and he'll do some blueberry stuff, and sometimes if we go to Guadalupe Brewing Company down in New Braunfels, he'll hit up some fruity beers, and I'm like, I don't know how the hell you drink that stuff, man.
Let me ask you a question, James. I know you quit, but is the temptation ever there still?
No.
Would
So we
you-
can keep talking about it, right?
No, well,
I mean, I made it through Vegas for 3 days
without
for
drinking?
for my daughter's wedding a year
Oh, that's
ago.
different. Wow.
The
See,
first
the wedding
couple of
would make you
months,
wanna drink
like
more.
the first couple of months, I avoided any place that kind of had alcohol.
Smart.
Like I wouldn't even walk down the aisle at HEB because I was like, I don't know, it's too tempting. But my niece got married, and I made it through the wedding. You just kind of once you make it through certain stages of. I used to drink here all the time. These are environments that used to be, alcohol environments for me. Once I got through all that, I was like, I mean, I know when it ends where in this grade of despair of taking your own life.
Yeah.
You don't want to go back there anymore unless you're really ready to take your own life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to that point, I realized I don't really want to die yet.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and it puts you in a mental state, at least for me, where there's so much disappointment of failure in yourself that you just want to check out
Yeah.
because you know where it goes. And it was a 32-year process. I mean, I drank for 32 years.
Wow.
Every day, every night.
Every night.
Not every day. I mean, I wouldn't go to work drunk or anything.
Yeah.
But it would be maybe if I had a day off, if it was a Saturday or Sunday, I mean, I'd go to church and I'd stop at HEB and get beer on the way home.
Wow.
Or on Friday, I'd buy several bottles of wine, a case of beer, and maybe a
What kind of
bottle
wine?
of vodka and just make it through the weekend.
We can answer this question first. He said, "What kind of wine?"
What kind of wine would you get? Screw top box.
I did drink box wine a lot there toward the end because it was cheap.
It's cheap.
And Jennifer told me that she used to pour it out because I couldn't tell. So she would pour like a bunch out of it and dump it in the sink so that I would drink less. But really, I would just run out quicker and I would just buy more.
Mm.
But I didn't know that until I quit drinking.
Wow.
So, but for me, it just takes you, for me, it took me to a really, especially toward the end, it took me to a really bad place.
I think my addiction right now, sorry, Mom, but is vaping. And I'm cutting down again.
Yeah.
But it's just so easy to grab it and real quick.
I smoked for 20 years. I quit smoking in 2012 and kept drinking for another 10 years without smoking. And I thought quitting smoking was going to be hard.
Drinking got you.
Yeah. Drinking.
Wow.
But yeah,
You know,
it was a lot.
it's crazy. People don't see it like this, but depression is an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
comfortable.
you ever wake?
Sometimes it's weird.
There's times where I told my dad, I said, "Oh man, I stopped saying, man, I'm tired." I would wake up and tell people, "Man, I'm tired," and I wasn't tired. I just woke up. I just started catching on to the pattern.
Your brain is exhausted.
Yeah, and I wasn't tired, nothing like that. I was just setting myself up for depression every single time. You know, I can pull anybody out of being depressed, and I feel good that I do it. But after that,
You're like-
I'm drained.
And then you're looking for somebody to help pull you out of that depression, but you don't want to tell everybody that you're depressed because you're the one that's helping everybody.
You know, I called, you know,
We're a lot the same way like that.
I called Joseph, you know, last week, and I was really going through it. And, you know, I told him, I said, I'm always helping everybody and checking on everybody. I call my dad, I call my mom. You know, when is my phone ever going to ring? You know, mom calls sometimes, but I'm the one who normally does the calling with stuff. And I'm not saying that they need to do any of that, but
Right.
sometimes I would like to get a call. You know, I saw him in HEB and I was like, you know, I stopped to talk. But it's very rare where it's like, how you been? You been all right? You been okay?
Yeah.
And as men, I don't think we get that enough. I don't think I'm the only man who struggles with that.
No,
You know, and I don't want to sound soft, you know, but yeah, sometimes I would like to hear, you okay? What's on your mind? What's wrong?
Yeah.
You know, it's not just when our wives are feeling sad, husband jump. You know, pay attention to your husband. If he seems a little off or something's changed, ask the question. Pay attention to your child. If your child switches up and feels some type of way different, you know, I go to my son. I could read his face very well, his body language, and I'm like, "What's up? Tell me. I'm not gonna leave here till you tell me." You know, he'll tell me, and I'm like, "All right, be real
That's
with
good.
me." You know, and just like people I know, I don't want to say names, but I'm always like, "Yo, you good?" And I keep quiet because sometimes if I'm talking to you and I feel something's wrong with you, I'm not gonna ask you to tell me. I'm gonna wait for a little bit to give you a chance to, and then I'm gonna say, "All right, something's different. What's up?"
I'll tell you straight up.
You know, but that's a lot of people won't. A lot of people hold it in. And me, I'm a person. I hold a lot of stuff in.
And for men, there's shame. It's
Yeah.
shame. You don't want to. You don't want to look weak. You don't want to look like you don't have it together. You don't want to look like you're dumb enough to be an alcoholic for 32 years.
But I believe as men, we're brought up to believe that we're not supposed to have pain. We're not supposed to cry. You know, when we were younger, it's man up, toughen
my
up.
dad never taught me that way. My parents never taught me that.
Well, right now you got the
But
internet.
I was hiding.
We didn't have the internet back then. So what you're
Yeah.
seeing on there is, you know, toughen up, man up, don't be a wimp, blah, 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 you know, and man, that stuff sticks with you, you know. It amazes me how much a male goes through in life and hides.
In quiet solitude and doesn't say a word to anybody.
Yep. And when he lays down on the bed and closes his eyes, if you're lucky, you sleep and you don't think about nothing. Me, my mind, I close my eyes and I damn hamster is just running. And I sleep and wake up with it.
So the only peace that I had in my mind for most of my adult life was when I was asleep, because it turned off. And to get to that sleep, I had to drink a lot and smoke a lot of weed.
See, and
Sometimes, a lot of times at the same time, until I had kids, and then it became, well, I can still just drink because alcohol is accepted by society and culture, but it was accepted then, so I just started drinking more. That was my drug of choice because it was the only one that I could socially get away with. Wow. And then drinking at home at night, it was just me and my wife and kids, so they were the only ones that really got to see all that for 10 years.
You know, what's crazy is you don't think about it, but it's the ones around you that suffer.
I have to live with that for the rest of my life. I hurt my family. I hurt my friends, some of them.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell a drunk they're being a drunk.
You can only apologize so many times. I hurt my ex-wife. She finally told me to quit apologizing. She's like, you don't have to apologize anymore. Because something else would come up that happened in our past. So I'd call her or send her a text or something. Or when I would see her, it the kids' games or whatever, I would, oh yeah, by the way, I'm sorry for this, and she's like, you don't have to apologize anymore. I already, it's water in the bridge. You're forgiven.
I think there's a
Not that
certain level
person anymore.
of self-loathing and
Self-loathing,
and
yes.
attempting to atone,
Right.
because it's a mechanism that we all have as humans.
It's you
that-
gotta
that
get
we
rid of
want-
that guilt somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we want to go back and we want to do some bridge repair,
Right.
and and that this is part of the great things about God's grace. And I've been there. I've screwed up relationships. I've messed up those kind of things. I've messed up stuff at work. I've screwed up a lot of things. And I've been that way before, where I'd lay down and I'm just like, everything's running through my head. And for like the last few years, it hasn't. It's not a matter of just shutting it off. It's like I literally if I'm not out walking or walking the dogs or watching Bourdain at home, because I learn stuff. It's educational for me, and it's something. Man, I would love. Hey, man, like let some TV channel offer a contract, like to send in some tape of why you think you should get to do this job. Are you a history guy? I'd love to be able to do that, travel the world and do the things he did. But for me, I think when I really started change inside in my heart was when I started getting more involved at church. And more importantly, I was like, made a choice to quit cussing. And so for me, I love Texas country music. I love red dirt music, man. I love Parker McCollum. I love, Granger Smith when he was still singing. I love Turnpike, and I still have those songs on my phone. But I have 21 hours of worship music on a playlist on my phone, and that is all I listen to in the car. And here's the other great thing is when I find myself fast forwarding through songs, I know it's time to add. And so, like at Tuesday night prayer, it's just the guys. they played some songs that we haven't played before, so I pulled out my phone and started looking it up. I added 5 new songs, and then I get home, and on the Talk of Tick, there's some people on there like worship songs you should be listening to. My algorithm was hitting that night. I added like 12 more songs because before, I'm up to 21 hours of worship music. And so, and it's new guys like Josiah Queen, and I like Forrest Frank, and I saw the videos of his performance at the Houston Rodeo, and there's 70,707 people there. You had the sevens, and people are out there worshiping, and and I didn't realize he was from the Houston area.
Yeah, he brought out Paul Wall.
Yeah, he's from the Houston area, and I'm sitting there watching that, and that fills my heart, and that gives me a lot of ease. And again, I didn't grow up like this, and granted, I haven't always been the best example of what a Christ follower should be, and
Right, me either.
and I still struggle with it. I still struggle at doing the right things at times. But man, I tell you what, there's a lot of peace that comes with being in the Word every day. I do that soap reading. Jason Frick might pull me aside and scold me at church on Sunday, but I'm not a big fan of reading Psalms. I love the book of Psalms, but I'm not a big fan of reading it. But that's what the soap readings are right now is through Psalms.
A lot of the songs you're listening to in that 21-hour list are from the book of
the
Psalms.
Psalms. And so, there's times where I like listening to upbeat songs. And if I'm out walking, if it's just me, man, I put my Bose earbuds in, and man, I go and I'm listening to worship music. And when people ask me, what do you, when I was teaching, Coach, what do you listen to? Hey, have you ever heard this song? I'm like, is that Christian music? No, I don't listen to that. And they go, what? Like, I'll listen to worship music. And they go, how come? And I said, because some of this music is a door opening to sin for me personally. And
It can be.
It
Anything
can be.
really.
Huh?
Anything can be.
Any can be.
It's what you do with it, though.
So
I still listen to my DMX, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
And once in a while, I listen to my Christian music. But the thing is, like, if the song's saying to go kill somebody, or if you choose to do, you make your own decision.
Yeah,
at
you
the
have
end of the
free
day.
will.
Yeah, so you know, I don't believe. Now, if I'm with kids in the car, I'm not gonna listen to F the world.
Yeah.
I'm you know, I'm in the gym. There's
Mhm.
times
Well, yeah,
where I
and
want to
it's-
listen to Christian, and there's times that I want to get hype and wake up.
There,
you know?
I mean, it's internal for everybody, and there's times where I go to the gym, I'm on the rowing machine, and man, it'll be a sequence of songs on my worship playlist. They're like, man, it hits, and for me, it hits in a
Yeah,
different
but
way, and
life isn't
and-
the same without Tool.
yeah,
you know?
and so
Get Tool in there and you start hitting the gym.
yeah, I mean, and yeah, and don't get me wrong, I mean, there's times where I'm scrolling through the feed, and there'll be a good country song on there, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll go Christian concerts. I'll go to a country concert because that's what I like. I like Texas country music, and
But it's funny because there are some people that would look at you and be like, "Oh, you listen to regular country? You're not Christian no more."
well,
I know. That's kind of weird.
And
That's
that's
their-
the part that
that's their heart
yeah,
posture.
that's the part with me. I'm like, who the hell are you to tell me what I can and cannot do? I am a grown man. I know where my beliefs stand. I know that my father's real.
You know what I ask them?
What?
Why do you say that?
Because they feel like they
I know
can.
why.
That's why I don't believe in religion. I believe in Jesus.
But I'm
going
gonna get in trouble if I start saying it.
You know, I don't believe in religion. I believe in God
Yeah.
and Jesus.
I
I
don't
don't
do
care about the
religion.
religion thing.
Yeah, I don't do religion. I do God.
And why do people fight against Christians so much? Because they're the first ones to say you're wrong.
Right.
This, and this. And I'm just
Right.
like, stop. You're not supposed to do that. If
But
you're
it's
Christian
not
like the
all
way you say you are,
Christians. It's just some.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and people want to be right. People
Right.
want to be right, and so, and there's a certain there's an essence to it, and there's a prescribed way that non-believers do, and because they like to trigger people, and they like to trigger Christ followers, and people that's
They're trying to point out the hypocrisy as often as possible.
Let me
so they can discredit
rewind that, because a Christ follower will see that. A Christian will fall into the trap, and they'll like, what do you mean? How dare you say that to me? And that's when their pride comes in, and they're being prideful. For me, if someone starts to come back at me about my being a Christ follower, I'm like, well, how come you listen to Christian music? I said, I'll tell you why, because it fills my heart with joy. It makes me feel closer to God. It helps remind me why I don't need to be cussing. It helps remind me that I need to walk and live my life in a way that people see Christ in me. Because I mean, I don't want to get to heaven and him look at me as like, I never knew you. Because we see a lot of people like that. There's a lot of so-called pastors and a lot of people in church that, they put themselves above everything else, and they're idolaters, and they worship things more than they worship God, and they twist the scripture to fit their narrative and to justify the things that they do. And if it's a man, why'd you cheat on your wife? Well, because she wasn't having sex with me. Well, then apparently you're not doing something to pour into your wife. And there's different. You got to do your job.
It's crazy you say the cursing and all that stuff. That stuff's made up. It's not in there. You don't see none of the bad words in there. You can say,
Yeah,
I like you and
I'm
mean
of that belief too.
Yeah, it's made up.
Man
So,
is the one who made words
yeah.
bad,
So
and how we
it's-
use them.
Yeah. So like I could say I love you in an aggressive manner, and technically I sinned because it wasn't genuine, and I meant it in a bad way. So I don't get caught up in the whole bad words thing. Now I rarely use it. Yeah, I said a few things there, but it's very rare
It's
that
the
you'll
whole
let me,
unwholesome talk thing is what it really is.
Yeah, it's made up, and
Let
it's
for
just
me-
like,
unwholesome talk come out of
For
your
me,
mouth.
in the past I was
Is that
bad.
what is that?
oh, you were
Philippians?
bad.
I was bad.
Yeah,
It
no.
was every other word was F, and we'd be in public, and,
Yeah,
and it would be
and
it
there's
would
a
be
time
it would
and
be
place,
embarrassing.
yeah.
It would be embarrassing for my
There's-
friends and for myself. And so, this is what a good friend of mine told me. She said, she goes, well, how's that not cussing going? I was like, it's going great. She goes, can I tell you something? I said, yeah. She goes, you're probably funnier now that you don't cuss. She goes, you've always been funny. You've always cracked us up, but it's because you're probably funnier now because you don't. So I used to be really bad.
Dang.
And
I can't see you.
well, it's
See,
because all you've known
this is
this.
interesting
Yeah.
because the New King James Version uses the words, let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth. Corrupt and unwholesome are completely different. So when you get a translation of the Bible that says, let no unwholesome words come out of your mouth, people go, well, that means you can't cuss. You shouldn't cuss because that's an unwholesome word. But when you start reading different versions, the word shit is not a corrupt, it's not an unwholesome word. I'm sorry, not a corrupt word. Shit might be unwholesome depending on how you're using it.
Exactly.
But you're not, and people get caught up in pigeonholed in certain translations of the Bible, and if you're not reading multiple of them, you're not going to get, because these were all translated by man from the Greek.
Yep.
You know?
And that's the thing with me. That's why on that TikTok post, you hear me say, I still slip up. I'm human.
But it's not even a slip up. See, when you say that, you're instantly shaming yourself. You can choose to say the word shit if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I've said it before, but I don't go around saying GD all the time because I'm like, I'm not wishing that kind of word on God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want him to damn that. I don't really want that kind of negative, whatever is going to come from.
You don't want that blasphemy.
But it's still, there were
Like that one.
times where I would say it all the time, but and a lot of it is who you're around. It's your environment.
Yeah.
People want to fit in. They want to be liked. They want to look cool like their friends, especially the younger guys.
Sometimes
these
it
kids
needs
and
to be
younger
said
guys.
so people can understand.
Well,
Yeah.
and I was
Sometimes the right word at the right time in the right place. If it's what man considers a curse word, it's necessary sometimes.
well, and I was around coaches all the time.
Yeah.
In
Well,
my
that's
career, I
different,
was around
yeah.
coaches
So, I mean,
all the
you're
time,
around
and
It's legalism is what we're getting into.
well, and for me, it got to a point when I was coaching the girls team there at Seguin, it was transferring over to the girls, and then I had some girls they cussed. People are shocked that girls cuss, but they do.
Oh yeah.
And what I noticed is it was impacting their game and the way referees were perceiving us. And so I finally just told them, I said, guys, we're not going to cuss anymore. What you do away from me is your business. But when we're out here, and they made a conscious effort to not. And I noticed that it made a difference in the way that they were walking and talking and how they were carrying themselves.
You get more respect from the other team,
and
the other
officials
coaches,
too.
and the officials,
And officials too. And so, and for me, it was about being a proper representation of our community and of our school, but more importantly, being a better representation of ourselves. And
goes back to agency.
yeah, and so like my dad, I've rarely heard my dad cuss growing up. He did say a few things. My granddad, never heard him say any curse words ever. Period.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not judging others that do it. It's something that I personally choose not to do because I know how I can get.
It's a personal conviction.
I know how I can be if I go down that path. And what I've noticed is my friends, they do. They're like, well, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, you be you, man. I said, I don't let it bother me. And in the beginning, it did, because like I'm trying not to cuss, and I'm trying to walk a better path, so I'm trying not to cuss. But the further I got, and again, when I started listening to Christian music all the time, it helped reinforce that desire to not curse. And so now, man, I don't curse. And I mean, I'll still say, it's like the Granger Smith episode about replacement words. You say, gosh darn it, or freaking, instead of dropping
Well, and I got
F-bombs.
in the habit of doing that too when the kids were little.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them walking around going F you to the teacher and then like getting in trouble for it. Because you're
What a
like, where'd you
freaking
learn
mess.
that word? My dad says it all the time to my mom.
Yeah.
And so for me personally, Daryl Fox, it's a heart posture that I want to walk out. And again, if I'm going to be up, if I'm on the prayer team at Vertical and I'm going to be praying for guys, if they come to me and they say, I'm really trying to watch my language. I'm really trying to watch the things that I'm putting into my heart and putting into my ears and stuff. And they're asking for help with that. I want to make sure that I'm in a good position, that if I'm praying for that I'm walking that out too. And again, that's me personally. That may not be everybody else.
Yeah.
And if you're someone that cusses a lot, that's
Well, it
between
can be an
you
addiction
and
too,
your
just
God.
like anything
Yeah.
else.
it
Because you
was
get into
for
a
me.
habit of saying it.
Man, I was dropping F-bombs
Yeah.
and man, it was bad.
But see, it doesn't make you bad. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't make you bad.
Be
Like at Tasco,
you got to be careful because you can easily just I don't know. You get lost in it, man.
You can. It's easy to.
Yeah.
And so again, for me,
You can get lost in the legalism of it all.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
For
The
me,
legalism of the Bible.
That's
I
why it
don't
took a while
judge.
for me to admit, like, yeah, I still do it.
I don't
You know,
judge anybody that curses.
Yeah.
And when I was in the classroom, I had a no cursing policy in my class. And when kids would do it, I'm like, hey guys, we don't cuss in here.
Well, that's cool. That's
Like,
different. Yeah.
Coach, I apologize. Or they would say something, I'd look up, and Coach, I'm sorry. And so they would make a conscious effort to not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, what they did outside my classroom, that's between them. But that's my room, and this is my policy. And man, I'm always proud of my students for stepping up and really making an effort to not. And what I noticed, a couple of them was like, I've really been working on that, and I find myself not cussing as much. I'm like, man, that's awesome, man. I said, again, I love you regardless. It's just not my thing.
Yeah. But you know what? Even if you
only
did
takes a
cuss,
spark.
and let's say James came up to you, he wanted you to pray for him about it, it doesn't stop you from praying for him about it. Now, later on, if you wanted to change that, that's on you. It's your preference on that
That is
one.
for me. I'm not.
Because when
me,
I first did the first interview, I didn't cuss, and very rare, like, it'll slip up. Like I said, I'm freaking human,
Yeah.
and
That's a cuss word.
oh my goodness.
Freaking.
But
It's a replacement word.
driving in
Friggin'.
Austin, what?
See, when you
You
put
know.
on that worship music in the car, and then you ended up cussing at somebody, you're like, and then you're back to praise and worship, and they're like,
I'll say a word, I'm like, oh, forgive me.
That's
I
why I
shouldn't have-
listen to it in the car.
and that's
'cause
when the
driving,
unwholesome word comes out of your mouth, and you recognize it as being an unwholesome word at the moment.
Yeah, but that bothers me because that's something being put on you by man. That's the part where it bothers me.
But
It's
it's
like,
how
not
you
put on me.
how you used to. Like
Yeah.
if somebody cuts you off in traffic and you're like, you effing a-hole, watch where you're going.
Yeah.
That's different than like saying, man, my friend over here, he's an effing a-hole. You should hear what he has to say about this and that and that. That's different. I mean, it's how it's being
it's not
projected.
directed towards anybody.
Right. It's how it's
And
being directed.
that's why if I'm driving to work, I had the worship music on, or if I've had a bad day and I'm driving home, first thing I want to do is listen to worship and praise music. And man,
I've caught myself in traffic though doing that exact same thing.
it puts me in the right
Cussing people out in
spot.
traffic and going back to singing praise and worship and just slapping my forehead.
Yeah, it puts
What are
my
you
heart
doing?
it puts my heart in the right posture.
Yeah.
And aligns myself back with God, because I mean, being in a classroom all day can be tough. And
Yeah.
as I'm venturing away from that now and getting ready to embark on what I hope is a new career and whatever God's going to lay before me, I'm going to walk that out there.
See, for me, like even doing this thing, the podcast today, I let some words go just to prove a point to people. Like, this doesn't make me not Christian or a believer of God. Let's not say Christian.
Right.
And I just want to show example. Like, listen, nothing's different from me. I still believe in my faith. I still believe in, Jesus. It doesn't make him better than me. It doesn't make me better than him. I still believe. I love my Father. And that's just what it is.
Your walk is your walk.
Yeah, exactly. And
My
that's the thing I
walk is
want to
my
show
walk.
people.
James's walk is his walk.
I don't know if I dropped the F-bomb. I think I did. But still, like, it doesn't make me different. You still
You do.
Yeah, you still have a room of 3 people who still believe in God, Look, he doesn't cuss no more. You don't drink no more. We drink. You see what I'm saying? So,
Right.
You're
I'm not judging
Yeah,
y'all for
you're not
drinking.
better.
Some
I'm
of us
not better.
drink higher end than others.
Oh, my goodness.
Some of us have taste.
Men whiskey.
You
Some
know what?
people are
I'm going to
still-
get it right now just
Some
for
people
you.
are
Manly
living.
bourbon.
Some people are still living as a boy.
Crown apple.
They're living as childish.
Yo.
Garrison honeydew.
I need to cut this camera. I'm about to put a 2-piece on him real quick. He about to see the dove and a turkey.
And we're out. Freedom Dorito. It's all you.
I've seen several videos of the Freedom Dorito.
It's my head on my X account now.
What's 10 Cup American whiskey? American made, it says.
Let me see.
I've never heard of 84 proof.
What you got for
the
a final thought there? Let's wrap this up at 2.5 hours.
Final thought for me, I feel like, listen,
Everything we covered.
don't get caught up in, comparing yourself to other people. You're different. We're all, children of God,
Yep.
and he made us in our own ways. And don't worry about comparing yourself to people. Love one another. We need that back in this world. We need love. All right. You got a room of 3 men right here who love. All right. And parents, parent your children.
Yep.
And children, love your parents.
And if you're an alcoholic, stop drinking, especially if you have young kids, because you're going to miss a lot of their childhood.
That's true. And don't ever stop saying I love you to the people you love.
Amen. I love it. What about you, Daryl?
Yeah.
He gonna say something about
there's
whiskey.
He's pulling up
Woodford Reserve.
some
is
whiskey
good.
for you.
What's the price?
Don't ask the price.
$42.59. You can get it cheaper.
Don't
at
ask the price.
Twin
Ask the
Liquors.
quality. Is it
Or
good?
go to Specs. You can get it cheaper there.
Give your closing thing real quick.
Bullet 90 proof is good. Bullet's good. But man, don't get no tin cup, man. That's gross. I wouldn't let a wino drink that stuff.
What's that bourbon that Joe Rogan liked? Was it made here?
Still Austin.
No, different. It's a different.
No,
one
it's
then.
still Austin.
No,
Get
it's a
our
different one. It's
closing.
one
Shit,
that I actually tried once before I quit drinking, and I'm
Okay.
glad I did because I would wanted to try.
Balcones or was it TX?
No, it wasn't from here. I don't think.
Oh, then I wouldn't.
But
know.
it's one that got real popular. What's the name of it? I'll find it.
I mean,
Anyway,
Woodward Reserve's good. But
no, you'll as soon as I say, you're gonna go, oh yeah, that one. But what are your final thoughts there, Daryl?
You talking about Basil Hayden?
Nope.
That's good stuff.
What's your final thought?
Not Blanters, not Blanton's.
Man, I don't-
Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace is pretty good. It's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Man, just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Golden rule.
Yeah, I mean, treat people the way you want to be treated. And, keep in mind that everybody has feelings and everybody has emotions, and, we're all God's children, and we all should be striving for the same thing. And, go out and do something good. Do one good thing every single day. If that's letting somebody merge into traffic as they're coming onto the interstate, let them. If somebody's trying to change lanes so they can make a turn, let them. If someone is at HEB and is standing in the middle of the aisle with their cart and you can't get by, just stand there and be patient, because they'll turn around and they'll notice, and chances are they'll apologize.
It happened to me yesterday, and I was the one in the way.
It happens to me all the time, and it's easy to get frustrated. But man, I just enjoy my time there, and get the stuff I need and get out. And I would just say be patient, learn some patience, and be careful if you ask for patience, because God will put you in positions to have you learn it, and it won't be easy.
And
I love it.
And don't drink cheap whiskey either.
Last one is keep your eyes open.
Message me, and I will tell you what to get.
Keep your eyes open and pay attention to what's real.
It's good.
Try Basil Hayden. Basil Hayden 12. It's a smoky one. It's good. It's not sweet. You can put a little simple syrup in there. I mean, you got to get off that Jack Daniels, man. That'll make your liver turn inside out.
Once you have something better than Jack Daniels, you're